Yo, afternoon, everybody. Hey, this is the Bearcat Sports Show. Hope y'all getting pretty good. But hey, I'm Julius back once again with my co-host AJ. How was your weekend?
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. It's pretty good. Nothing to complain about. You know,
Absolutely.
basically lost my voice essentially, sort of. So if y'all can barely hear me, I'm trying out here. Lots of fluids that'll help my voice, but it's come and gone. Not because I'm mad or anything, but I was screaming a lot this weekend. So
Yeah, it
there's that.
happens that way. It happens that way. No worries. You know what I'm saying? So,
So bear
hey,
with me, guys. Bear with me. I
yep,
I
yep.
actually sound pretty fine right now, though. It picks
That's
and
good.
chooses. My voice is picking and choosing. So
hmm
bear with me here.
Yeah, no worries.
But the show goes on, so we're good.
Right, as y'all
I
sit
just
down,
can't
look.
be screaming. My mom said to not scream.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
can't
yeah,
even
yeah,
scream.
yeah. You definitely
She
don't
said
want
I'll
to
strain
scream.
my voice, so
Yeah, you don't want to strain your voice because then it's gonna take longer to
it's
recover.
gonna take longer to get back. So
So yeah,
I
as
gotta
y'all
accept
see,
it.
make sure y'all subscribe. Please like and comment if
Like
you
and
can.
comment.
If you
Yep.
if you want to you got any comments, go in the comment section. I try to respond as much. If not, we'll just do it live. Like, hey, if I see something or she sees something, we'll just say, hey, whatever, speak to it, whatever. But again, follow us at Rage Juke Joint on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it. We got our ads at the bottom right here, and then
Yep.
we'll go from there. So without further ado, I'll let her have the floor because she said she couldn't wait till
Oh,
today.
I couldn't wait. Okay, so as we know, yesterday the Bears played the Commanders in what was a highly anticipated matchup between the number one drafted quarterback in Caleb Williams versus the number two drafted quarterback in Jaden Daniels. At first, it seemed like Jaden Daniels wasn't going to play because he had a rib injury he suffered last
Mm-hmm.
week, so he was considered week to week. He didn't practice most of the week. They pushed him on Friday and on walkthroughs on Saturday, and bam, what do we know? He ends up playing. So even though you could tell he probably wasn't 100%, but that's neither here nor there, right? For 3 quarters, the Bears' offense laid a goose egg, settle, 0 points. They came alive in the fourth quarter, but it was too little, too late. Um, you know, we all know what happens. The defense gave up a chunk play with like what 6 seconds left for like 13 yards.
Uh huh.
That puts the Commanders in a position to actually throw the Hail Mary attempt. Jane Daniels scrambles around, and throws a 52-yard touchdown pass to Noah Brown. Actually, it got tipped. It got tipped by Tyreek Stevenson and fell into the arms of Noah Brown.
He threw that
So
joint 65 yards. I mean,
yeah, it
officially
was its
52, but
air
he
yard
threw it
travel was 65 yards,
65 yards. He threw it 65
which
yards.
was
Insane.
not even a shock, but it kind of was because he was playing hurt, and you could see it in some of his throws. But still, neither here nor there. Washington wins off a Hail Mary, 18-15, and I can't even say I'm surprised. I'm not because of how the game went for the majority of the game.
Mm-hmm.
The offense just struggled a lot. Once again, third year in a row, Eberflus does not have this team ready coming off a bye week. I don't understand that. Like, I just don't get it. Like, dude, how is this team not ready to play coming off a bye week? I don't understand that part. And then the play calling wasn't great. Caleb missed some throws early. early. I even like that Tony Romo pointed him out. He pointed out one where Komet was open, wide open, middle of the field, and what he ended up deciding to do was throwing like I think it was like a hitch route to Keenan Allen that would just went way over Keenan's head.
Mm-hmm.
But I thought he did a lot better in the fourth quarter. He looked a lot better settled in by that point. Uh, we get to the goal line twice. The
Yep.
handoff to Doug Kramer, I know, is what got people talking yesterday. I can't even blame Doug Kramer on that because at the end of the day, he's a backup center. He's an offensive lineman. He has no business being out there as a like a running back, right? Shane Waldron calling that for Doug Kramer at that high stakes moment in the game is just wild to me. Like if you're gonna call a Doug Kramer, or they call him mini fridge, if you're gonna call a Doug Kramer like
Mm-hmm.
touchdown run or
Yep.
whatever, you need to call that when we're playing like the Panthers or like the Patriots, right? And we're up by like 25, 30 points, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's when you call that. You do not call that when we're down 5 and it's 12-7 and you have stakes on the line in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't like that they threw it was like a fade route in the left end of the end zone to
Oh, the
DJ
DJ,
Moore.
that thing was in the air
Yeah,
forever.
because that stopped the clock. And because that stopped the clock, it gave Washington time to pick up those 13 yards and to throw that Hail Mary attempt. Instead of just running it the first time with Roshan Johnson. Obviously, they get the ball back and they run it with Roshan Johnson to
Mm-hmm.
take the lead as after they go for the 2 point conversion.
Right.
And so that was nice, right? But then also what I didn't like, and this has to be addressed. Um, I knew I was going to address it. Tyreek Stevenson. I don't understand. I don't know what you were doing. Where is your head at in the game? I don't understand. Apparently, going back and watching the All 22 and even listening to what Dan Orlovsky said this morning, he was doing that on the 13-yard play the Commanders had that set up the Hail Mary. He was
Mm-hmm.
over there heckling with fans, waving at them, doing whatever the hell he was doing, not paying
Mm-hmm.
any attention. So his back is turned to the offense while plays are going on. And so my thing is, if you see that, I don't know how you didn't see that if you're Matt Eberflus. I'm calling a timeout right there to get
Right.
Tyreek Stevenson's head out of his behind because obviously he's not locked in and focused
Mm-hmm.
at that
I
moment
agree.
in the game. And so you had 3 timeouts, right? You had 3 timeouts. So it's not like you didn't have a timeout to get the guy set up and to get every make sure everybody was on the same page for that play. But for
Mm-hmm.
whatever reason, Eberflus didn't call it. The play goes on. Tyreek Stevenson's over there still chirping with fans and all that other stuff. He's not paying attention. Washington has the ball snap. They're running the play. He turns around. He's like, oh, snap. They're actually throwing the ball. He runs back over there, tips the ball backwards, and it lands in the arms of Noah Brown. The
Mm-hmm.
lack of situational awareness was just, I don't understand. I don't get it. Like, you're a professional. You need to act like and play like a professional. Um, he apologized to his team today from what Rappaport reported, what Matt Eberflus said. He addressed the team today. He addressed the fans on social media last night after the viral clip went out of him just not paying
Yeah.
attention
Not paying
whatsoever.
attention.
I don't
Wasn't
understand
focused.
what he was doing.
He wasn't focused.
Um,
He wasn't.
he wasn't focused. He needs to be focused in those moments, especially when you're in the lead of the game and you know all they need is a Hail Mary to win that game. Um, Also, what I didn't like on that play is TJ Edwards is a spy on Jaden Daniels
Mm-hmm.
in that particular moment. Why are you spying Jaden Daniels? He's not going to run 60 yards for a touchdown. Your behind needs to be in the end zone. All right, that's what your behind needs to be at. And then the fact that you only rushed 3 that whole time instead of rushing 5, you only rushed 3. And that gave Jaden Daniels time to run around and step up and make that throw. I just, there was a lot of things wrong personnel wise, scheme wise, that was called in
Mm-hmm.
that particular moment. But obviously, the biggest blunder by Tyree Stevenson is just inexcusable. You can't have that. If you're the Bears, that's just unacceptable. I I don't know. Do you feel like he should get suspended for that? I mean, I feel like he should, just to kind of get him to be like, bro, if you're not going to pay attention on the field, you need to be paying attention on the bench. And if I feel like when you're ready to pay attention, focus, and do what you need to do, I'll put you back in the game. But that's too
Um,
big of a blunder for me. Too big
I
of a
don't.
blunder.
I think it's a big blunder, but I think if he's not a consistent, if it's not consistent, if it was just a one off, I'm fine with that. It's just you need to talk to him. You know what I'm saying? You need to have a conversation with
Yeah.
him. Like, hey, your focus was definitely not here. You could have been more focused about it. But if he's a constant offender, yeah, hell yeah, they got to do something. Tell him he can't
Well,
start, ditch him, something. But if it's just a one thing, nah, it is.
well, I feel like especially in this game, he should at least got benched in this game because he had picked up a 15-yard penalty earlier in the game that gave Washington really good field position when he put his finger in the face mask of Sam Cosmi. Like
Yeah, yeah, that was.
I think if they were to bench him, they should have done it during this game because obviously he just wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what was going on or whatever, but he obviously wasn't focused enough, and he didn't need to be in the game per se.
Yeah,
Um, So, those are my thoughts. I'm not surprised by this, though. I'm just not. This is another Flus just doesn't have good coaching awareness, good clock management. You had 3 timeouts. I just don't understand why you don't use them in that situation.
he does not like
Um,
using his timeouts in the right spot. I
he
swear.
don't. He don't. But he will use them when you don't need to use them, and you absolutely know that you don't need to use them. But that's
Mm-hmm.
neither here nor there. Um, I do feel like though they missed out on some opportunities earlier in the game. There were moments where like they were in Cairo's field goal range and they just didn't even attempt to kick, I guess. So I don't know if like wind was a factor or whatever, but
Mm-hmm.
I felt like there were some missed opportunities early in the game as well for at least the Bears to, have some points that way. With that Roshan touchdown, the game would have already been over.
Yeah. Absolutely. There's a lot of plays left out on the field on both sides. I think what we talked about as we were ending the show last week was we were talking about if we felt like the Bears were a good team or not. And we didn't get a chance to do the panel show like we wanted to. It just didn't work out for everybody's schedule. But we are going to do it probably this weekend, hopefully.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk because it's basically the mid-season. So we're just going to talk about what the Bears. We're going to try to. That's the plan, but we'll see what happens. We're going to do it. It's just everybody has to schedule that.
Right. When we can get everybody together, that's when we'll do it. But
we don't want to do it without the people that we asked to do it. So
right.
we got to make sure it makes sense for everybody.
For everybody involved. Exactly.
But I think what it showed me is that the Bears are still. I'm still like undecided on them. I know the defense is great.
I'm not undecided.
I don't know. I just don't know. Like I'm not sold on them yet. You know what I'm saying? Like the defense, I'm sold on. I don't gotta see no more. Torrey Taylor, I don't need to see no more. I'm good.
Exactly.
That man is disgusting. When he kicked that 62-yard punt, I was like,
that was crazy.
An animal. He is disgusting. He is a dog for real. So I don't need to see no more from him. The defense. Cairo didn't really get to kick the ball. And he's been kicking. He's been good. So I'm cool with Cairo. This offense, bro, is driving me nuts when I allow it.
That's another thing. Gerald Everett outsnapped Cole Kmet this week.
Again?
Yeah.
Why are we going back to that?
I don't know.
So, okay, so I'm glad you brought that up. I was getting ready to get on the offense. So, for 3-4 weeks, you decided to do what me, AJ, Coach T, other people have said is complimentary football, run the ball, play on the center, play action, boots, all that good stuff. What happened? We won. Put up points. This week, you decide, hey, we're playing in the afternoon with a marquee game. Let's go back to showcasing Caleb again. and we didn't do nothing to the fourth quarter. The lone bright spot the whole game was DeAndre Swift, who had, I think, 127 yards rushing and a
Yeah.
touchdown. But yet, it took y'all forever to finally commit to him. In the second half, if I'm not mistaken, he ran for 93 yards or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, so why did we go back to what didn't work in the first two games? To why did it take us to the fourth quarter to finally decide to go to what was working the last three games prior? That's what I have questions about. Then Caleb, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say the crazy thing is Caleb's, in my opinion, is at his best when we establish a run game. But go ahead.
No, I agree. I agree 100%. We talked about this. I said why I feel like he's better when we establish a running game. If you put him in play action or whatever, you're at his mercy.
Exactly.
You are at his mercy. If the running game is working and you got these three receivers or two receivers and two tight ends or one tight end, whatever you want to do, you are at Caleb's mercy.
Yep.
So why would you keep trying to showcase him throwing a god awful amounts of times? For what? I would rather throw the ball 27 to 30 times than 45 to 50 times. For what?
He threw 24 times and completed 10 passes.
You know what I'm saying?
He put up an Anthony Richardson stat line yesterday.
Oh, that dude was terrible. 10 of 32.
And Richardson was what, 10 of 32 or something?
10 of 32. Terrible.
Bro, 10 of 32 and 10 of 24 is terrible. I never want to see that ever again.
That's disgusting. Y'all need to be throwing with the jug, not the jug machine. Throwing at the net, all that, something, because that is terrible.
Bro, this man literally tapped out in the middle of a game. He tapped out. Talking about he was tired at the end of the game. Like, they asked him about it. He said he was just tired, so he tapped himself out. I ain't never heard or seen that before, bro.
Who said that?
I was just like, what?
Anthony Richardson said that?
Oh,
my gosh. Oh.
I said, bro, you should have faked it and just said, look, I got nauseous. I wasn't feeling well. I just needed a minute on the sideline. That's what he should have said. This man straight said, no, I was just tired.
Sorry, man. I ain't ignoring you, bro. What's good, Dante? Sorry about that.
Right. I would have just lied. I would have been like, look, I was nauseous. I needed a minute on the sideline. You could have at least sold it. It's not like we would have known you were just tapping out. Like, I would have just sold it. I would have been like, look, I was feeling nauseous. I needed a minute. Blah, blah, blah. I feel like people would have bought it. But you literally went up there and said, no, I was just tired, dog. Like, dude, you idiot, bro. Like, I had never seen that before in my life. I've seen it in basketball.
He should have said, I got nauseous real quick. I needed to breathe.
I got nauseous real quick. I had to step off. Right. I would have bought that. Right. Just sell it. I would have been like, yeah, no, I was nauseous. I felt something coming up. I had to step aside.
Something.
Okay, cool.
That's crazy. But anyway, so.
Anyway.
Caleb, well, nope. Let me go other places first. So, Gerald Everett outsnapped Cole Kmet for some reason again. I don't know why we back on that train.
I don't either.
The offensive line, too many injuries.
Got beat up. We lost a lot of dudes.
Like 3 players in 3 consecutive plays. Somebody got hurt.
Yep. Braxton Jones got hurt. He got a knee injury, but apparently he got good news. It's not like terrible. It's week to week, so he might miss 1-2 weeks. Tevin Jacobs got left with a knee injury. Bill Murray left with a pec injury.
Mm-hmm.
So at one point, your offensive line was Kyron Amagaji, Doug Kramer, Coleman Shelton, Matt Pryor, and Darnell Wright when that Roschon Johnson touchdown happened. That's actually what your online combination was.
Yep. And we ain't even seen Ryan Bates because he's still hurt. And Nate Davis was hurt. Nate Davis was out for the game. He
was inactive. I guess my issue with that is Larry Bourne practiced all week in full, and they didn't take him off of IR. And so that's why they had to put Kyron Amagaji in the game after Braxton got hurt. Because they didn't, for whatever reason, activate Larry Bourne off of IR. They only activated Jacob Martin and Travis Homer, who I didn't really see in the game. They inactivated Khalil Herbert.
Khalil Herbert, yep, yeah. So he probably gonna get traded soon.
Khalil Herbert about to get traded. Him and A. Davis. I could
Yeah,
just say it
he
now.
about to get traded. Khalil Herbert most definitely probably getting traded.
Yeah.
Yep. He's probably gonna get traded because Travis Homer is on his way back. So yeah, Khalil Herbert, you're probably gone, bro. Unfortunately, you're probably gone. Somebody gonna offer up because people get hurt all the time.
Yeah.
I'm saying, shoot, the
I can see the
49ers don't like
Bengals.
the 49ers look like
Um,
they fifth string running back.
Yeah. I can
They
see the
need
Bengals. The Bengals need someone other than Chase Brown.
yeah, he can Chase don't no shade to Chase. He can't carry the workload like
Yeah,
that.
no shade to Chase because I like Chase Brown.
Me
I
too.
thought he was a dog at Illinois, but he's not one of those like can carry the load backs. He needs a compliment. And so I like Khalil Herbert to Cincinnati. I think that'd be a good one.
That'd be a good trade. That'd be a good trade. But yeah, so the offensive line look disjointed.
Yeah, of course. I mean, they finally faced a defensive front that doesn't give up like 125, 250 yards a game. So,
And they were consistently bringing 5 the whole time,
yep.
which I don't understand why we didn't adjust. Like, so when you put Karan out there, they brought 6. So guess what? You need some help.
Bro, they should have had a guy over there chipping.
Exactly.
They should have had another tight end. They should have had a tight end over there helping Kyron. Like, this is his first game coming off a quad injury, coming off the fact that he missed all of training camp, most of the regular season. He missed like the first few weeks of the regular season.
Yep.
And then all of a sudden Braxton gets hurt and you're throwing him in this game like you didn't even help him out.
Yeah.
Like, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, I might have cursed Braxton, man, because I said, hey, if you get hurt, it's over with. And guess what? This is why I got hurt. My bad.
Bro, and I was complimenting Kyron too after his first couple plays were really solid. I jinxed him, bro.
You know what? But I'm not even gonna be mad at him because he got thrown into duty, and clearly they didn't have any contingency plans if he had to get thrown in there. They just threw him out there to the wolves. Like, and this is my part. This is what upsets me about that. You seen Washington was getting consistent pressure the whole game. So when he came in, you still didn't send him no help. What in the world, bro? And guess what? So I'm on my little tirade. I'm gonna do my rant.
Go ahead.
Bobby Wagner destroyed the game for the Bears. He completely destroyed the game. I was just telling T this. If you notice, they would bring 5, 6. They would have 5, 6 guys lined up before the snap, right? Mm-hmm. Bobby Wagner came 95% of the time. So why didn't you account for him? He was in Caleb's face most of the night, but yet they still never accounted for him, and he was killing Caleb the whole time. So what? If he's mostly coming on blitz, why didn't y'all account for that? Never adjusted. Never adjusted. Didn't make no freaking sense whatsoever, bro. It's disgusting. It took them forever. It took Flus forever to figure out that they were goddamn spreading Dexter and Billings like this and opening a gap. And it took you to the third drive to figure that out?
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing? Like, what are the coaches up in the booth doing? What is the coaches on the field looking at?
They having a good old time.
See this, bro?
Having a party.
What are y'all looking at, man? Again, everybody, we talked about this on the show. Stevenson is getting picked on because you can't pick on Jalen Johnson. Give him some help. Get him some help over the top. You know they picking on him.
Bro, McLaurin cooked him on that 61-yard reception he had. Bro, McLaurin cooked him, bro.
He was cooking that man, bro. Cooking him. Guess what? They also use a tight end, Bears.
Zach Ertz. Yeah, Zach Ertz.
What the hell, man? What the hell? They use their tight end. Why we wait to the fourth quarter to finally use ours? What?
And he only got one. He only got one target and one
target. Even Tony Romo said, "Why are they not targeting Cole Kmet? What are they doing? I don't know. Somebody tell us."
Bro, Gerald Everett had more targets as well. I'm pretty sure he had like 2 or 3 targets.
And both of them were behind him.
I'm like, dog, where was Cole Kmet for those situations, bro? Like, what are we doing?
It wouldn't matter. Caleb threw it behind him. But, I mean, it don't matter. He missed him. He missed the deep throws.
Caleb didn't have a good day.
He
And
missed
I
the two
think
throws.
I think that's okay to say. I know people don't want to hear that and people don't want to have that conversation. But it was not a good day for Caleb Williams. He didn't look
I,
good.
I saw a tweet. Somebody said he had a terrible day. He did. He
He
had a
did.
terrible day. He had 2 good drives. He had a terrible
Right.
day. It don't just because 2 drives doesn't take away that you had a terrible game.
Right.
You
He
had
had
2
two
good
good
drives, but
drives.
you had a
I gave
terrible
him
game.
I gave him his credit for how he responded in the fourth quarter, but that
Yeah,
doesn't
but
take
that
away
don't
the
mean
fact that he still just wasn't good
that
overall.
don't be like, oh, he had a terrible game and went to a good game. No, he had a terrible
No,
game. He had
it
2 good
was
drives.
terrible. 10 of
Terrible.
24 is inexcusable. I'm so sorry.
Terrible. I'm not giving him no pass. Like, I give you a pass. Thank goodness you got the moxie to march the team up and down the field. Yes, I give you credit for that. But I'm not saying you had no good game. Hell no. You had a terrible
No.
game. You
Yeah, it
missed
was a bad
throws.
game.
You did you could have done. And that's not. And again, I'm not blaming him. I'm just saying for what he was asked to do, he didn't play well.
Right.
But they never should have put him in that position in the first place.
I think both can be true. I think both
Yeah.
can be true. I just
Exactly.
think I feel like sometimes like because for me, I feel like because I didn't really have expectations for this season, I could call it for what it is.
Yeah.
The offense as a whole was just terrible. Like nobody played good. Like
What
that's
Swift did.
okay to say.
Swift
I
played
feel
good
like that's well, yeah, except Swift.
when they
Like
featured him. Yeah.
like that's okay to say. I feel like people are scared to have honest conversations about what happened. But I'm like, no, I'm gonna have an honest conversation, like whether you want to hear it or not.
I don't
So
think so. I kind of agree with you. What you guys are saying, I kind of disagree. First of all, good morning, good afternoon. I do want to say, I had a discussion with somebody earlier today, right? Talking about Caleb Williams games. He played a bad 3 quarters. Let's be honest. That's
he played
objective.
that period.
No, it's not a bad period. He
10 of
it's a
24. I'm
and
not giving you a pass when you
so
complete 10
so
of
you guys are
24
looking. You
attempts.
guys,
Okay.
That's
you're looking
under
at. Wait, let me
50%.
let me make my point.
Go ahead. I want to hear.
You're looking
I'm
at the
gonna
glass
respond.
half full and not seeing the silver lining in all this, right? Where he didn't overall, yes, he didn't play well, but there was a switch that was flipped in the fourth quarter where Caleb with the playing complementary offense, because the defense is what kept the Bears in the game. That's the thing that we have to admit. The defense stopped them. Like the Commanders snapped the ball like 38 times in Chicago territory.
Mm-hmm.
They only came away with 4 field goals, which is great by our side, especially with us missing Jaquan Brisker and Kyler Gordon.
Mm-hmm.
Caleb did his part where it's like, okay, we still have this. Boom. Let's go down. Let's go down. Make this drive go. Let's keep this going, because the drive started from I think the 20-yard line or whatever after a punt. So the Bears made one of the top offenses punt the most, which was like 6 times. That was the most they've ever punted this whole season so far, right? And that's great.
The Giants
Caleb,
too.
Sorry, say that
The
one more.
Giants too. They kicked like 7 field goals against the Giants.
Right. But when it comes down to what we saw, first 3 quarters were
Mm-hmm.
but the fourth quarter where it mattered in this game because the Bears were still in it. That's where Caleb woke up. So he didn't play bad. Period. He played bad for 3 quarters. Overall, it was a bad game. It was a C- game, but he answered the call when it was put upon him to put him in a position to win. The Bears defense kept him in the game, and he played complimentary football in the fourth quarter to put him in position. That's all you can ask for a rookie quarterback. Just, hey, do your part, right? So I'm not glorifying Caleb for saying that, oh, he played well. No, he played well when it mattered because the defense played their butts off the whole entire game.
Mm-hmm.
So there's things to look at. Like I said, I agree with you guys, and then at the same time, I do disagree with some of the sentiment of just the semantics of what was said. So
No, I mean, and that's fine. I mean, we're not, and that's the thing about a debate or talking. Like, we can disagree on how we feel, right? You know what I'm saying? Because again, you're a quarterback by trade, like you know what I'm saying, history, all that good stuff. So you're gonna see it differently. And I have nothing against Caleb. You know this. I want to see. I feel like the Bears have screwed him over this first his first season, and I don't give a damn how they feel about it.
They
So
screwed him over by not. See, my thing I've said since offseason, if we're going to switch quarterbacks, Carter, stop. If sorry, he, but because I'm getting ready to attend school right now. But my thing is, if they're going to move on from the quarterback and get a new quarterback, they should get a new coach.
Didn't I
That was
say
my
that,
thing.
Julius?
we said
Didn't I
this.
say I
Yeah.
said this?
We said this. We know this. We said
Yeah,
this, bro.
and that was my biggest thing. That's why I know Flus. The way they're looking at Flus is we're looking at him as like, look, dude, you're like 13, you're like 14 and forever with losses, right?
Oh,
14
You're only
and
3 and
27.
Yeah, you're 3 and 17 on the road.
Mm-hmm.
But I think the way they're looking at it is like, okay, they're disregarding 2022 because nobody's going to win under that roster. I really truly think they're looking at Eberflus from an organizational standpoint as 0-0 as of the season. When they came into the season, like they reset, they got their guys, blah blah blah. Now it's like, okay, let's see what you can do with this. They're not looking at Flus from the totality from all 3 years that he's been here. They're looking at it as like, what are you going to do for me? It's like Janet Jackson. What have you done for me lately?
Right. Okay.
You know?
I get that. But I don't
So-
think Kevin Warren is thinking that. But I get what you're saying. Maybe
Yeah.
Foles is thinking that, but I don't think Kevin Warren is.
Yeah, it's and like I said, it's an organizational situation, right? We look at Kevin Warren. We obviously know that his word doesn't really mean too much because he wanted Caleb. He voiced it. Did they keep Caleb? No. But
No, I don't think.
I'm sorry, Justin Fields. Sorry.
I don't think that his word. I don't think that his word doesn't really mean anything. I think that his silence means more than what you talking about. I feel like the man hasn't said a word since before the draft, except for when we saw him on Hard Knocks, and then here recently we saw him talk about the stadium again. He still ain't talking about the team. So guess what? In my eyes, and I've talked offline about this, and I'm not gonna get into the weeds about this. It's a reason why we seen them throwing Caleb out there like that, and I think it's partly because he gave them a mandate. Okay, this is what you wanted. Show me.
Oh,
And guess what? That's why we may be seeing some of the play call and some of the way shit is going. So I'm just saying, we'll find out at the end of the season who really is in charge. You know what I'm saying? Because and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. But I keep saying it, and Lisa can tell you, we talk about this all the time. She know how I feel about it. And if it comes to fruition, I'm gonna go in. She already know I'm
Bro.
ready.
I just don't want Bears fans to put that loss on Tyreek Stevenson.
It's not on him. No,
it's not on him. I'm just saying, overall, as a collective, saw this coming. Again, my point was proven until the Bears proved to me they can beat a good team and not a team that's won in whatever. Until they can beat a good enough team, a playoff team, a winning team, I'm not going to believe in this football team.
Let me ask you
No,
this,
I'm not.
Let me ask you this, Bishop.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm being straight up 100 when I ask you this. You know me.
Yeah, of course.
Did you watch the Rams game the other night?
Yes, I did.
Do you think the Bears beat that team?
No.
Exactly. That's my point.
Because when Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua are on the team, it's a different offense.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so.
But the difference.
But remember, when we was talking about last week, how all these fans were like, "Oh, the Bears are good," and remember we had our little discussion online, offline about, "Hey, the Bears are a good team." I could say that because it's like the Rams. We don't know because they were out the top 2 wide receivers. They really didn't. To
fully justify what you're saying, what you're saying is absolutely correct. The thing about the NFL is not about who you play, it's about when you play them, right?
No. I know that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying to judge you. Yes, it's about who you play when you're playing, but you also got to judge the product for what it looks like in that.
Well, yeah, the measuring stick of like, okay, like the Rams look like who they were when they went to the Super Bowl, with their full team, healthy roster, Sean McVay, all that stuff. I personally think this is just my opinion, right? I personally think that if a game comes down to a fluke Hail Mary, like, because prayers do get
it wasn't a fluke.
It's a fluke. Yeah, it was.
It was not.
Well, I got some things I didn't get to. I didn't got some points.
So a Hail Mary is a prayer. So it's not when something happens where it's like it's a slim to none chance to happen.
You had 3 timeouts. You had every opportunity to make it a fluke. You did not.
So what's your definition of a fluke, at least? Because I think we have 2 different definitions of what a fluke
is. To me, a fluke, especially in a Hail Mary situation, if you have every guy where they're supposed to be and it just gets tipped up and caught, then that's a fluke. But when you have guys out of position, guys not paying attention, a la Tyreek Stevenson, then a play
But
like that is going to
that's
work
hindsight.
9 times out of 10.
That's hindsight though. Like here's the thing:
That's not
if we
hindsight.
it is hindsight because we didn't look at the play and say, oh, he's out of position. He should be doing this. We know now
You could tell
because
someone was out of position because in a
you
Hail Mary
couldn't
attempt,
not
when the
not
defense
by
hold
watching on
on,
TV,
when the
not by
defense
watching on
is set
TV.
up, the way the defense is supposed to be set up in a Hail Mary, no one should be that wide
Not
open.
not by what no not by watching on TV because the
Like
TV's focusing on the quarterback, so you can't see
on the
what's going on
TV
back there.
screen,
So,
on my TV
so
screen, I saw a dude open in the end zone that
you
shouldn't have been
can't
open.
see that unless after the play was tipped. Yes, he
When
was
the
open
ball was
because
in the
Tyreek
air,
Stevenson.
I saw a dude standing
So
in the end zone with nobody on.
Elise, you so you knew from the TV screen that Tyreek Stevenson was out of position already, right? We
I
saw
knew
that.
somebody was out of position because
That's
there was
not
a guy
no.
open in the end zone.
No, there's no.
I didn't know who the
That's
player
objectively
was, but I knew somebody was out of
that's
position.
objectively false because even when they're in prevent defense, the coverage is literally off screen.
I literally saw when the ball was in the air and it got tipped into the end zone. There was a guy standing there. Nobody was there.
At that
Nobody
point, but
was there.
that's literally a second and a half reaction situation. There's no way to say, oh, he's out of like as it gets
In a
tipped,
Hail Mary attempt, there should be somebody in front and behind a dude.
Yes, but
And there was nobody behind him. That's the point.
Here's the thing.
Obviously, you were able to tell that somebody was not on their assignment.
Yes, after the tip. Yes, after the tip, you're like, okay. But what makes it a fluke is because it's a Hail Mary. That's why it's called a Hail Mary because it's throwing up a prayer.
The amount of Hail Marys I've seen
that's like me. Literally, there are times even in practice where they had us practicing Hail Mary situations, and they would just have. I knew where I was throwing the ball. I can throw a Hail Mary with my eyes closed because it's just about where you're throwing it with.
Like most Hail Marys that you see, most of the Hail Marys you see at the half or like at the end of the game, like the one we had against Indianapolis at halftime, right? There was someone behind and in front of DJ Moore.
Right, but that's about this positioning.
That's what made that play so crazy because DJ Moore made a hell of a catch. What made this one crazy was the fact that there was nobody behind Noah Brown on
what
that
makes
play.
it a fluke? What makes it a fluke is because it's not a 50-50 ball. Like Hail Marys are literally Hail Marys are like out of 10 Hail Marys, maybe 1 or 2 are caught or successful. But
there's been 3 this year. There's been 3 this year.
But I mean,
there's been 3, but out of how many?
So let me ask you this.
Not many. There hasn't. I don't think there's been that many attempted this year like that though.
And there's only been 2. There's only been 2 this year. I think with this one, including the one Aaron Rodgers did last week.
There was the one against the Colts. Remember?
Versus who? Detroit?
No, the Bears versus the Colts. Caleb threw that Hail Mary to DJ Moore before the half.
The half. Yeah, that's what a lot.
And he caught it. He just couldn't get in the end zone.
No, it was the end zone.
So that's why.
He got caught at the 1 yard line. He couldn't get in.
Oh yeah, the 1 yard.
He couldn't get in. But at the end of the day, it's still not a successful Hail Mary because they defended it correctly. Because they just like Jalen Johnson was on McLaurin saying that's my guy. If he catches the bat down, I'm tackling his ass. Right. The other part is being in the end zone with Tyreek Stevenson, make sure that nobody's open in the back just in case it gets tipped and goes backwards, which happens a lot of the time. But the reason why it's called a Hail Mary simply because you're throwing up a prayer. If you win off of a prayer, it's a fluke and that's why they call it a prayer. That's why they call it Hail Mary. So Hail Mary is not a systematic, this is a 50-50 ball. Like it's like what like Jordan Love.
The way Eberflus described it, they practice that sucker every day. So
but the issue is they didn't play to how they practiced it. That's the only issue is that because if you play how you practice, and if Tyreek Stevenson didn't trust his teammate to do what his thing because he knocked down number 21 just to try to catch a Hail Mary, which nobody's one hand catching a pass coming a 70-yard bomb coming in with heat. Like that's my crazy thing about it. But like I said, a game that's won off of a prayer is not necessarily a game we can definitively say is like because we had that game won.
Shoulda, coulda, woulda, but we didn't.
But that's what I'm saying. But that's where you have to look at it. It's like you have the
I'm
game
not
won,
looking
and
at it like that.
The
Like I
Bears,
said,
the Bears lost that game because they gave it away. It's not because the defense kept them in the game the whole entire way. Because like again, when you snap the ball 38 times in enemy territory, you should have a touchdown. Do you agree with me?
huh?
Do you agree that if you snap the ball 38 times in enemy territory, that you should at least have one touchdown?
They got taken away.
They
They
had
got
two of them though.
nullified.
They had
Their
two of them
touchdowns
taken
got
away.
nullified.
Yeah,
I mean,
because of penalties.
Right, but that doesn't take away the fact that they didn't score.
Right.
What they came away in four. I see. Here's the thing: we could look at it like this: the Bears really should have been down 28-0, but because
Right,
we have
that's
an
what I'm
elite,
saying.
because we have an elite defense, we stayed in. So Caleb, all he has to do
Right,
is play
but
complimentary football, and he put him in a position to win, and we gave up that game. It's not. Yes, we lost to a good team, but it's not like we lost because we got blown the fuck out. We
But I'm
lost because
saying,
of a Hail Mary play.
but
But
now,
that's still
but
my
hold
point.
on,
That's
Lee.
still like Eberflus's record
Hold on.
against good teams is like 1-18. The
Hold on.
only good team he's beat with a winning record is Detroit last season.
Yeah,
That's
I
it.
agree.
So hold on.
I can't
I want to go back.
keep giving this. I can't keep giving this team
So who-
passes because they
So I
beat up on sorry teams. I'm not doing it.
So I
I'm
want to
not.
speak on what you
I
said.
refuse.
You said the Bears barely lost. They lost on a fluke Hail Mary. Well, guess what? If they call that pass to Zach Ertz a touchdown instead of an incomplete pass, it's probably gonna be
But
a
that was
touchdown. Hold on, Bishop. Hold on, bro.
Okay.
Hold on,
Okay.
I'll let you go.
Yeah.
I'm just going off what you said. You said they won off a Hail Mary. Well, I'm saying there were plays that the Commanders left on the field. Noah Brown either had 2 or 3 drops, and 2 of them were definitely for first downs. 2 of them. He got targeted 6 times. He caught 3 passes. I know he dropped 2 for sure that were right in his hands. One of them hit him in the chest for a first down. They got a touchdown call back from Zacchaeus for a holding call, which wasn't, or no, I'm sorry,
ineligible man
and
downfield.
he wasn't really like they was grasping the straws for that. Even Romo said the shit. And then again, Zach Ertz. It depends on how they called it. And they had their chance, and then they kicker did not get a goddamn golf divot on a you know what I'm saying? So we had again. I don't like that Bears fans are like, oh, we barely won, bro. Did you watch the same game?
Well, here's the thing that we could talk about the same thing with the Jaguars. There were 3 touchdowns that were nullified and dropped. It was actually 4. Four of them. Four were dropped. 1 was actually nullified by a penalty. So we're not talking about the fact that we barely if that's the case, then we barely won against the Jaguars.
We blew
I'm saying, you're not saying it, but people are victory lapping because they barely beat us by Hail Mary.
It's copium. It's copium. It's like you kind of need it to get because we as Bears fans have lost very bad games, especially, and that's not the first Hail Mary that we've lost to, and it sucks, right? I'd rather the Bears get beat by just being blown out. Like we were down 28-0, and we just couldn't play. Okay, the loss would have stung a lot less, right?
Right.
But when you lose off of a game that you were literally 2 seconds, let's say 6 seconds, okay? Because I have to count in that horrendous defensive play call that allowed them to get the extra 15 yards that apparently didn't matter. They literally had the game won. All you got to do is just knock down the ball. And even if Terry McLaurin were to catch it, Jalen Johnson literally had him on the ground. He was beating Terry up, essentially. So it was just simply, it came down to one play. Yes, the prayer got answered. I don't necessarily think it was a great game. Obviously, our defense, the Commanders controlled the ball more. Defense kept them out of the end zone. That's what our defense does. We have a playoff defense and we have a complementary offense. It's just the fact that we had one misassignment. It was a mistake. You learn from it. You move on. You got to swallow the L. The next time we see the Commanders, it would have to be in the playoffs because we know they're going to make it. They're going to probably win their division because their schedule really is favorable to them. Maybe not the next 5 games, because they do have the Eagles and the Packers within those next 5 games, but they're going to win it. I truly believe the Commanders will win their division.
I mean, with the Cowboys and Giants being trash, and
then the Eagles are playing mediocre, but I
Sorry.
will say this. I hope Jalen Johnson learns that you play until the buzzer. You play until
You mean
zero.
Tyreek Stevenson?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, Tyler Stevenson. I hope he realizes that. Hey, stop celebrating, and let's be real. He wasn't the only one. Based on the press conference that Eberflus had, he was doing victory laps before the game was over too.
He was. They said he was doing it on that 15.
Exactly. Like the only thing, like the thing is,
I mean,
my biggest issue,
Moriano
you had
said
3
that
timeouts.
Poles and Cunningham left after Roshan scored that touchdown. They had left.
Yeah, no, they left, and they found out in the elevator that they lost, and so it just comes down to the fact that there's a culture that needs to be adjusted. Eberflus just needs to figure out how to win on the road,
And
because
win games against guys with winning records, please.
Well, there's that. I mean, that's everybody in the playoffs. But here's the thing: the main thing is he has to figure out how to win on the road. Because if we were to make the playoffs, it's probably going to be the 6th or 7th seed, and that means we're not getting a home game. So if you can't win on the road, one, you're not going to make it to the playoffs. But if you can't figure it out and you get to the playoffs, you're playing on the road, your likelihood of winning or succeeding is nil because you can't figure out why are we on a 9-game home winning record streak right now, but we are 3-17 on the road. That's what the next meeting needs to be about. Not about a damn Hail Mary or being out of position. That needs to be a part of it. But what is going on to where we cannot win outside of Chicago? And once they figure that out, then we can see them beating good teams or staying in competition or in line with good teams. Because the Bears haven't been blown out yet. Like, I mean, I think the last time the Bears were really blown out was against the Chiefs last year. I think outside of that, Bears have been in almost every game they've lost. Within one score, they still lose, but it's about figuring out what are the details that turn those losses into wins.
At the end of the day, I just like being right. I like being right at the end of the day.
That's me. I'm sorry. I'm trying to.
Yeah,
I got the
that's
baby. I'm trying to get my sound right. Hold on. Sorry about that.
At the end of the day, I like being right. I was right once again. We're not gonna be anything until we start beating teams with winning records, and we're not beating up on dog shit teams like the Panthers who got destroyed by the Broncos and so on.
But are we calling the Jaguars a bad team because they literally almost beat the Texans before we played them?
Almost only counts more. They're 2 in set.
And they were in stride with Green Bay.
Can you hear me?
We expected Green Bay to.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hey, a loss is a loss. They're not good. Who else did we beat? Tennessee. We barely beat Tennessee, and Detroit blew their asses out.
Well, that was Caleb Williams' first game.
Nah, I don't want to hear that because you just said the Jaguars.
Green Bay. So we're not
just said, hold on.
Wait.
You just said Jacksonville almost beat Green Bay. Tennessee should have beat us, correct?
No, I'm going off of you what you're saying.
Tennessee should have beat us, correct?
Elise, not every team that we beat is as bad as what the Panthers were.
That's a yes or no question. Tennessee should have beat us, correct?
Off of what? They shouldn't have beat us because our defense and our special teams balled out.
They shouldn't have beat us.
No. Will Levis had a meltdown.
Right. Let's be real. Because Tennessee was on our ass.
No. I'm not taking. Listen,
don't do that.
I am not taking credit from the defense. We're not gonna act like Will Levis and try to throw a pass damn near from his knees.
All quarterbacks
do nobody.
All
quarterbacks don't do that.
When did Caleb do that?
Caleb ain't done that bullshit.
Caleb ain't done
that.
Caleb
can't hit a deep pass.
No. That throw that Will Levis threw from his knees damn near was the worst throw I've seen.
Yes.
And it is a pick six.
But it was a pick six.
It's a pick
when they had the lead.
Hold
on. Tennessee had the lead when he threw that. Tennessee had the lead when he threw that.
Are we really discrediting the defense for doing their job?
No, I just
said batted away.
Listen, you didn't hear what I just said. I said I'm not taking nothing away from the defense. Will Levis had a meltdown. Let's be for real.
They had the lead.
Terrible pass, bro.
Hold on, Julius. When Will Levis threw that pass, the Tennessee Titans had the lead in that game.
Answer me this:
What are we doing?
Did the defense do their job and get the pick six to seal that
Yes.
off, or did Will
Yes.
Levis just have a meltdown? Because if Will
Two
Levis
things
had a
can be
meltdown,
true.
Both are true.
No.
That's the point.
Actually, in fact, in this situation, if you're crediting Will Levis having a meltdown, you're taking that away from the defense.
No, I'm not, because
No,
the
I'm
defense
not.
kept the
But
Bears in
that's
the game.
objectively, but that's what it is.
The
It's either
defense kept them in the
either
game.
defense had a
No.
good game, either the defense had a good game, or Will Levis had a meltdown.
Okay.
Both are
I-
true.
No, don't worry about.
Look
hold
at
on,
his
I got
numbers.
You. Hold on, AJ. So what happened with Kyle Hamilton yesterday with the Ravens? Since you want to go there, we can go there because we can have
I
this
didn't watch that
conversation.
game.
Exactly. He dropped the interception that would have sealed the game. Guess what happened? They lost because Jameis Winston 2 plays later scored a touchdown, and they ended up losing the game because Kyle Hamilton dropped the fucking ball.
Okay, so that's a play, right? So we're talking about Will
It doesn't
Levis.
matter. That's not taking away from the Ravens defense. They played good yesterday.
Right,
But they
the
had
defense still played good.
We're talking about the Tennessee Titans should have beat us but Will Levis had a meltdown.
I didn't say they should have beat us. I said that Will Levis had a meltdown, but the defense played. The defense kept us in the game.
The defense won the game.
And the defense won the game.
And special teams won us that game too.
Will Levis helped.
Will
Levis helped a whole lot. He did. He was terrible at the second half of the game. He threw some ducks that helped the defense even more. Yeah, they probably weren't gonna score anyway. But I'm saying,
but here's the thing: what led to Will Levis throwing that stupid lateral to the outside?
The defense.
Yes.
Again, I'm not taking away from the. Okay, but we not bro. You are trying to make it one or the other. It's
right.
two things.
Football has two sides of the coin here, bud. There's two sides of the coin here.
But you guys were just literally just saying that no matter what, Caleb Williams just had a bad game.
He did.
I feel
Will
like he had a
Levis
bad game.
But we're not acknowledging the fact that he had a good fourth quarter. We're just talking about
hold on, Bishop. Hold on.
Because you said he had a bad game, period. Hold
on, Bishop. You weren't in here when I said he looked fine in the fourth quarter. You weren't here when I said that.
You said no. I didn't have to be here for that.
Hold on.
Because you're trying to correct me on something that here's the
relax.
I'm good. I'm good. What I'm saying to you, Elise, is to me, you said yes. You may have said Caleb had a good fourth quarter, but to me, you said he played bad. Period. That
10
was your
of 24. Word. I'm not defending 10 of 24. I'm sorry, I'm not. I don't care how, because you had two good drives. I'm going to sing your praises and worship the ground you walk on. I'm not going to do that.
Nobody's singing praises.
Yes, you were. That's a good fourth quarter. No, he had two good
there was
drives.
A good fourth quarter.
Okay,
objectively, he had 17 yards in the first quarter. He had 16 yards in the second quarter. He had 3 yards in the third quarter.
Even then, I would argue. The run game was the reason we had two good drives. Not Caleb Williams. But
there was a switch. There was
handing the ball off. Okay, cool. Caleb looked good handing the ball off. Great. No.
The reason it doesn't. Okay, so here's the thing. Objectively, first quarter he had 17 yards. Second quarter he had 16 yards. Third quarter he had 3 passing yards. Fourth quarter he had over 100 yards. Objectively, he had a great fourth quarter.
He was fine.
Singing praises.
10 of 24, I'm not defending.
But here's the thing. Caleb being good in the fourth quarter. Objectively,
that's Anthony
Caleb
Richardson numbers, bro. I'm not defending. No.
You don't have to defend nothing. But what I'm noticing a lot of people that again, it comes down to this. There's a faction of fans that are talking about, okay, Caleb played bad. We all know Caleb played bad. That's an objective fact, right? But the reality is, we're looking at the people who just said, well, he had a good fourth quarter.
That's part of the reason why we lost.
Wait, hold on.
Okay?
Because
why.
Because one thing we haven't had. One thing we did not have.
Caleb played better, we would have won easily.
Yes.
Okay.
But that's also on coaching as well.
He's part of this loss.
You know something that we have yet to talk about? Bears have not scored a touchdown in the first quarter and in the entirety of their season so far. They have not scored on the opening drive. Their opening drives have usually been 3 and outs, ending in sacks, or pre-snap penalties. So
and the defense hasn't given up a first opening drive in 16 games. So
right.
And that still continues because they only allowed a field goal. So the Bears are second in the league with pre-snap penalties right now, right? the game was not lost because of players. The game was lost because of coaching. When you look at everything,
that. Nobody's saying that. We agree with that.
Right. No. So what I'm saying is, yes, Caleb had a bad 3 quarters, but he also had an amazing 4th quarter to put us in the position to win. You know what we didn't have for the last 3 years with Justin, who to me is still a talented quarterback. He would fail in the 4th quarter when it mattered, right? And that's the thing that Caleb has not shown that he's doing. Every game that we've been in, he's gotten better over time.
So now it's coaching. Hold on. So now it's coaching instead of the players.
His best quarter is the 4th quarter.
You're about to sit here and say it's coaching now and not the player. Cool. Okay. Got it.
Yeah. It was coach. Yeah. Even professionals that are paid millions of dollars to do what we're doing right now said it was coaching. So yes, people that know ball, that's saying it, not saying that y'all don't, but this game was more on coaching than it was on player execution.
I'm talking about in general.
No, what are you talking about in general? We're talking about what in general? That all the failures on the Bears right now is because of coaching or the players?
Yes.
No, that's not how that works.
You literally just insinuated that.
I just said that we lost this game. I just said we lost this game.
The audacity to sit up here and say that Caleb Williams didn't play good enough, and he's one of the reasons we lost this game.
He is one of the reasons because he didn't play good enough in the first 3 quarters. But he put us in positions to win.
One good throw. I'm not going to do it. Sorry.
He didn't have one good throw. He had
if we want to win games that matter. He needs to play better.
Elise, take the blinders and the bias off right now.
He's the number one
blinders and the bias off right now. He had 3 great NFL throws. He had a sidearm to DeAndre Carter to get him on the 1-yard line. He had a cross the body to Keenan Allen. He had the post sideline throw to DJ Moore.
I do not give a damn about a sidearm throw. Win the game.
I'm giving multiple.
Win the game.
Take the bias out of what we're talking about. You said he had 1 good throw. Obviously, he had more than that. He had a good throw to Cole Kmet. In fact, he had 4. He had a tight throw to Cole Kmet in the seam. Because he stepped into that shit. He had an off
along with his stupid
DeAndre Carter. He had that post route. He stepped into a throw that he was going to get hit to DJ Moore. There were plenty of great NFL throws that he made in that game. You don't have
to be
win
spectacular.
You don't have to be spectacular.
Did we win the game?
40 times in the game. You have to.
Did we win the game?
We lost off of a fluke Hail Mary. What do you want me to say?
No. The answer is no.
Yes, we didn't. No, we did not win the game. But y'all sitting here and just you're sitting here and just saying that he was just bad. Period. He was. Watch the film. Watch the film.
It wasn't good enough to win the game.
No, man.
Do you think Jaden Daniels played well?
He played okay.
They literally so Jaden Daniels was literally contained outside of the 60-yard pass and the Hail Mary.
He was 21 of 38 for 348 yards.
Yeah, outside of the Hail Mary and the 60-yard throw, he was contained for most of the game.
Injury. Where's Caleb's excuse?
But I mean, if you take those 2 away, he still got 220 yards.
Football, you're going to play hurt almost every game. You think every player is fully healthy?
But he still got 220 yards.
Right, he still had 220, even if you take away
the. But here's the thing: it's a way different conversation if that ball gets batted to the ground. So what?
It's a way different.
But we just went through this. It's a different conversation if they change Zach Ertz incompletion to a touchdown.
That's a penalty draw. That's a penalty draw.
That wasn't a penalty. They overturned on a replay.
Objectively. There's nothing that changes that unless he just gets the ball out quicker.
It was overturned on a penalty. I mean, not a penalty. Replay.
It was over. Yes, because it was a legal man downfield. They were
Zach Ertz.
No, we're talking about the Zach Ertz touchdown.
Zach Ertz touchdown. They called it incomplete. If they didn't call the touchdown. Touchdown.
You the one that was challenged.
Or not challenged,
but called it.
Yes.
That wasn't a catch.
If they call it a catch, it's a catch. They're not overturning it. It that's what I'm saying. Bishops. Now you being semantics. Now you using semantics, bro.
That comparison doesn't make sense because that wasn't a catch.
It doesn't matter. I'm saying you keep talking about it's a fluke. I'm telling you, there's different spots in the game where the Bears could have lost early on.
Yes,
so we're not gonna skip over that.
The Jaguars
Why you keep skipping over that?
All their touchdowns and one got negated by a
penalty. Okay, bro.
So, but we didn't mention that, so why are we mentioning it now?
I did mention it.
We did.
You didn't hear? I talked about it on the show. I'm not like everybody else. I talk about everything. I'm not gonna sit here and be like, oh, this is the only part I'm gonna talk about. Everybody else keeps talking about the Hail Mary. I don't give a shit about the Hail Mary. What about the plays that were left out on the field?
The Hail Mary is literally why we lost. So why are we not talking?
But there are other plays that we could have lost the game.
But that's not just the main reason.
Okay, if the Hail Mary. Okay, so but here's the thing. So
exactly.
We hear people saying the Hail Mary is not the reason why we lost. Okay, so if they drop the Hail Mary, we still lose.
So if they don't call illegal man downfield, are we even in that position? If they call
that a touchdown, we win.
You're talking about a penalty versus a play execution. They're two different comparisons.
It wasn't a
penalty. If they don't call the penalty and he scores, are we in the game? Don't try to change up semantics, bro. You just said if he drops the ball. No, you just said if he drops the ball, it's a different story. If they don't call an illegal formation, it's a touchdown. It's a different game, bro.
A penalty is going to be a penalty almost 100%.
Come on, dog. Okay. Anyways,
that's what I'm saying. You guys are comparing apples to oranges at this point.
So if they call that touchdown, we win the game.
Say that again.
If they call that touchdown, we win the game.
What touchdown? The one.
Either one of them.
The one that Zach Ertz dropped the ball, objectively dropped the ball, did not survive the ground.
But either way. If they call that,
he did not survive the ground. That's not a catch. Again,
if they called it, the point is, if they called it, do we win the game?
Who knows? Because there was time left on the clock after he caught it.
Obviously, we probably don't.
I'm talking about what caused the loss. Objectively, with 0 seconds on the clock, right? What caused the loss? It's because we tipped the ball. We tipped the ball on the Hail Mary and he caught it for a touchdown. That's what caused it. So why are we acting like that's not the reason why we lost?
I don't understand why that's bad to say.
So let me clear things up. There's a reason why we lost, and there are reasons why we kept the game close, right? Those are two different things. We kept the game close because Caleb Williams wasn't good enough in the first 3 quarters, and the defense held the offense, one of the top scoring offenses to 4 field goals.
If Cole Kmet and all these other players can sit, and all these other offensive players can sit up here and say we didn't play good enough the whole game, then I can sit up here and say the same thing. We didn't play good enough. This team was not good enough to win this football game, and that's why we lost. It's that simple.
We lost because
we weren't good enough. I don't give a shit about
they caught a Hail Mary pass.
Okay, all right, let's move on.
Just like we would have won if they did not catch the.
We were not good enough.
Okay. Let's talk about next week's game. The Cardinals are 4-4, right?
The defense was good enough. We're talking about the offense just caught up.
Okay.
Caleb Williams is a quarterback. He played better as the game went along.
If we were good enough, we would have won. That's how I say
it. Don't matter.
If we batted the ball down, we would have won.
Let's talk about this upcoming game. The Cardinals and Bears. The Bears head to Arizona. The Cardinals are 4-4, right?
Yep.
Cardinals are pretty good.
They're on a game win streak.
They're pretty good. They're playing at home, so you can't sleep on them.
The Cardinals played Miami. Miami's kind of like subpar right now.
I mean, but they got Tua back.
They beat the Chargers.
They got Tua back, and they got Tyreek Hill back.
Their defense is suspect. Their offense is good with Kyler Murray and their connection with Connor and
don't matter. They at home.
Exactly. They know, and that's a factor because we're 3-17 away from Chicago.
Right. If we were at home, win. No doubt in my mind. We going to Arizona.
You know the 3 wins we got were against Mac Jones / Bailey Zappi, not Trey Lance, Sam Howell, and who am I thinking of? Some other bum. Forget who the 3rd win was. But
the only reason I say that because I said in the offseason, Arizona is going to be a tough game. Now, I could end up being wrong, but I feel like it's going to be a tough game.
All games are going to be tough because it's the NFL. Like, they're
but no, everybody's
one or two freebies.
But a lot of people are saying the Cardinals were a freebie.
That the
A lot of people said the Cardinals.
I was just told that good teams beat teams that they're supposed to beat.
Yep.
And quote unquote, this is the team we're supposed to beat.
Yep.
So they got to beat the Cardinals.
It's called
they got to
winnable
beat
games.
the Cardinals.
They got to beat them.
Winnable games.
But I'm just saying, if you think the Cardinals,
at the end of the day,
I'd be something sweet.
Here's the thing that we're talking about, right? We're not if the Bears win yesterday, we're not talking about them being a bad team. We're talking about good teams find a way to win, right? You find a way to win, even if somebody's playing poorly.
Wait, did you just say good teams find a way to win?
Yes, that's what you said.
So we're not a good team then, because we can't find ways to win games.
We literally, nobody's saying objectively the Bears are a good team. We even had this discussion last week. 2 weeks ago. We literally talked about the Bears have to be better in certain situations. We never said that they were a good team. They're just beating on teams they're supposed to be beating, which is part of good teams finding a way to win.
That's why I don't believe in them.
But hold on,
let's go back to the Super Bowl. Let's go back to the Atlanta New England Super Bowl, where Tom Brady played like shit in like literally the first half, but then woke the fuck up and won the game. Nobody was talking about how Tom Brady played like trash at the first half of the season. At the first half of the game. You out of like maybe like 1,000 people.
Because I'm not gonna sit here and act like he didn't play good.
But here's the thing: the exception doesn't make the rule, Julius. You're the
right, but that doesn't make just because people do it doesn't make it right.
The exception doesn't make the rule, Julius. That's the thing I'm trying to say.
Right, but if people make a stupid ass rule, I'm not going with that shit.
Because you're smart enough to talk about everything objectively doesn't mean the rest of the masses are of that level of intelligence when it comes to the conversations. The exception doesn't make the rule. The reality is, if the New England Patriots lost to the Atlanta Falcons on the streak that they were going, people would have been talking about, Tom Brady played like shit for the first half. Instead, they're talking about the comeback, right? If we are sitting here and we're truly being honest with ourselves, if hypothetically we win that game, we're talking about how Caleb Williams took everything out of himself right now to put him in a position to win in the fourth quarter, right? Which is something we haven't had in the last 3 years.
I'll tell you what the narrative was before the game, Coach T, that the Bears were a good team, and this is a good test for them.
Caleb versus Jay.
Good teams find a way to win no matter what. It's just how you play complementary football. Mm-hmm. Guess what? The defense was waiting for the offense to catch up. Offense caught up finally in the fourth quarter. They finally woke the hell up, got a running game going. And the only thing that they were stupid about right now in the fourth quarter was the fact that, or in the whole game, this offense literally relied on get going. Can we agree on that?
Relied on what was the last part?
Right, you blacked out.
The last couple times where the offense was really, really, really good, the Kmet and Swift simultaneously were having good games, right?
Well, they ain't go to Kmet to the end.
Yeah, exactly. So. But again, going back, that was the quarter. That was Caleb Williams' best quarter yesterday because we not only had a running game going with DeAndre Swift, which I'm still waiting on that apology from Elise about DeAndre. But
not gonna happen.
Then Cole Kmet was getting involved, and his only reception really was outside the 2-point conversion was that 15-yard dot that he threw up the thing. Huh?
14.
Oh, tomato, at least. Come on now. so when it comes 14. Down to 1 yard difference. Anyways, it comes down to the fact that our offense, Shane Waldron's offense needs the tight ends.
We already answered it.
We already know. We know who it is, Coach T. They don't want to admit it. I just got scrutinized because I said so-and-so didn't play great.
Yeah, so, Caleb Williams did not play great, but to ignore his fourth quarter performance is just
nobody's ignoring it. Nobody's ignoring it.
When you peel it as he played bad, period.
He had a bad game. He had a good quarter.
But to say he played bad, period. Are we really sitting here and going to say a quarterback? Yes, he had 130 plus yards. Blah blah blah. Most of it came in the fourth quarter. He woke up in the fourth quarter. But if we
let me ask you something. Did Kobe Bryant play good in Game 7 of the finals when they beat Boston?
Yes.
No, he didn't. No, he did not. He relied on his teammates. Reason Ron Artest had to hit that 3 to win the game. He played like garbage.
Wait. You said if he would have played well, they would have.
No. I said, did Kobe Bryant play good in Game 7 or other?
Did he play well? No.
Hell no. Yes. So I'm not gonna say he did because he made a good pass to Ron Artest. No, he played the whole game.
Football is a game of chess. Basketball is a game of sequence. What are we talking about here?
It don't matter. You're not going to convince me that because a man had a good quarter.
You can't keep comparing apples to oranges.
Wait, hold on. So hold on. So let me ask you this.
You're not winning this argument.
Hold on. Hold on.
I'm cracking up.
We would get mad at Justin Fields for having a bad fourth quarter, even though he would play well for 3 quarters. So I should want someone to play well for only 1 quarter.
You should want someone to play well for when it counts. And
no,
the fourth quarter counts.
What? That don't even make no sense.
I want one person to play well for 1 quarter.
First of all, the reason why people were pissed off at Justin Fields for having a bad fourth quarter is because it kept happening. That's why. It wasn't just one game where he had 3 great quarters and then had 1 bad fourth quarter.
Yeah, he would. Every game he lost in the fourth quarter,
multiple times.
He'd have a good game.
We're like, so here's where the game matters, right? Where the game matters is where you want your players to step up, correct?
So where did we step up at? Because we lost.
Answer the question.
Did we lose?
Answer the question.
Did we lose?
Appreciate the hug, Jazz.
Answer the question.
Yeah, love you, Jazz.
What was the question? I missed it. I'm sorry.
The question in the crunch time when things matter, where it's win versus loss, right? And based on what you do is winning, in the crunch time moments, which is mostly in the fourth quarter, would you not want your best players to step up and rise to the challenge?
Yes.
Okay. How many times did Justin Fields have a chance to win the game in the fourth quarter and something freakishly happened and we end up losing?
I mean, a bunch of times, but it wasn't always all on him though.
It was. Yeah. Okay.
Did he not have a couple of drives where they had the lead and then the other team came down and scored?
But throwing interceptions, and I've talked about this even when we had Justin Fields, throwing interceptions in the fourth quarter when you need to win, fumbling the ball.
Wait, but hold on.
Bailing out of play. Wait,
why
you're not going to shut me down when I'm making a point. We're not doing that. We're not doing that because every time I get to trying to make the point, you try to oversert me. We're not doing that today. The thing is, what it comes down to is Caleb Williams stepped up and he led literally 2 touchdown drives, 2 potential touchdown drives. One that ended in a fumble, but one that actually got in to put him in.
So why aren't we talking about the fumble then?
Caleb Williams
you told me how great he played and he fumbled the ball in the fourth quarter.
The fumble, and to me personally, the fumble is the reason why we got the second drive because the defense stopped and had them 3 and out. They put it from the 6-yard line, and we got the ball back on the 40. So we dealt with short.
And actually, Coach T is right in a sense. You can't compare the situations because last I checked, when did Justin Fields ever? Hold on. When did Justin Fields ever have?
This is where bias is starting to come in.
DJ Moore.
That's not bias. That is not bias, bro.
I can't compare a Bears quarterback to another Bears quarterback.
Look at what he says. Reed, you can't compare Justin's situation to Caleb.
The reality is Justin didn't do it in the fourth quarter. Caleb Williams, his best quarters have been in the fourth quarter.
I wish we had Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, and Cole Kmet last year. Damn. And Roma Doomsday. That would be nice.
Caleb Williams was literally pressured 51% of the time. And literally still came out with that stuff. Come on now.
Like,
come
dude,
on.
What did that?
Don't give me that.
He has people to throw to, man. He had 3 people to throw to.
You were going to tell me right now that Caleb Williams has a better offensive line than Justin Fields did?
Yes.
Neither one of them have a good offensive line.
In this game today, where we were literally had a rookie on the left tackle who was letting people go free to his blind side.
When have we ever had a good O-line?
We ain't had a good O-line since Olin Cruz was here. We haven't had a good O-line since Olin Cruz was here.
Right. When have we had a good O-line?
Since Olin Cruz and Robert Garza.
Exactly. And neither of them were quarterbacks.
So we can't compare O-line situations.
But that's comparing all offensive lines to one offensive line. I'm comparing Caleb Williams' offensive line last night.
You talking about to the old line from last year that didn't play the starting 5 into a game I'm sorry, week 8.
Yeah.
They were both bad, but which
No.
one?
Hell no. No, you're not doing that. You're trying to compare old lines. We didn't have no. See, I ain't said. Hold on. We didn't have a starting old line until week 8 of last year.
Both offensive lines were bad, but which one was better than the other?
I don't know because they both terrible.
Hold on. This one, because this one has actually played together for weeks at a time. Every day, every game last year. Hold on. Every game last year.
They've only had like maybe 2 weeks to play with each other because Matt Pryor came in for Nate Davis or injured.
Week 3. Week 3. This is week 8.
Our center is complete ass.
But he's been there all 7 games.
They played 5-6 games together. The old line we had last year.
When was Justin Fields ever pressured?
Hold on, Julius.
Okay.
I mean, not Julius.
Yeah.
Freaking Bishop.
Go ahead.
The last season, we didn't have the same old line for the same weeks for consecutive weeks in a row until week 8 and week 9.
That must be 9.
Week 8 and week 9. Like we've had the same consecutive O line from week 3 to week 8. It got beat up this week.
No, that is false. That is false.
It got beat up this week.
That is false. You're not going to just throw a stat out there and be wrong about it. Come on.
I'm not wrong about it.
Come on. Literally, the only thing that's been consistent about our offensive line has literally been our tackles and our center.
And guards.
Who's saying anything about Caleb's pocket awareness?
Huh?
Well, who said anything about Caleb's pocket awareness?
We talking about the O-line. See how people just see? Anyways, I'm done with this conversation.
I don't see the comments or anything like that.
He said Caleb's pocket awareness is way ahead of Justin. We got to stop. Okay, that's what you said.
It is.
But that's fine.
Well, hold on.
But we were talking about the O-line.
Wasn't there his pocket awareness wasn't there last night?
It's not what we're talking about, but objectively, Caleb's pocket awareness is better than Justin's.
Nobody said the Caleb awareness.
That's
I'm saying that's not the subject of what we're talking about.
Right, that's not what we're talking about.
That's not what we're talking about. But
we're talking about the O-line.
I'm just simply agreeing the fact that yes, his pocket awareness is better, but that's not what we're talking about.
Right, but
that's not what we're
there's
talking
no point to bring it up because it has no context. We're not talking about that.
We're not talking about that. That's not what we're talking about.
Yeah. What I was saying was,
hold on, time out. If that helps the O-line in terms, since you want to stay on this, why does the O-line still like shit?
Right. Why is the O-line
because we never invested into it. But now we're banged up at O-line and left
tackle. Oh, okay, but Bishop, go ahead. That's what I'm saying. Like both O-lines are trash.
Yep.
Yes, Caleb's awareness will help, but it still looks like garbage.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yes.
That's what we're trying to say. We ain't making this a Caleb versus Justin. We're saying the O-line is trash for both of them. Neither one of them have good O-line situations on the Chicago Bears. Period.
Show me a game where Justin Fields got pressured or blitzed for more than half of his. I'm not saying it didn't happen.
I don't know.
I'm not saying it didn't happen. I'm just
I don't know.
Minnesota last year.
He didn't play the whole time. Well, okay. Well, I mean, I guess you can take.
Yeah,
he did.
They blitzed majority of the game.
They blitzed, but didn't he get hurt like in the first half?
No,
she's talking about the second one.
She's talking about in Minnesota.
In Minnesota.
Pull that up, please. If there's a way to access that.
Because remember, everyone got mad because we threw a bunch of screen passes that game.
Yeah, and we barely.
But that's how you count.
We barely scored anything.
That's how you counter a blitz, though. You have to throw short passes or screens.
Right, but we talked about the screens weren't going vertical, though. We talked about this.
Yeah,
we know this.
I know we talked about it, but what I'm saying is when you look at three of Caleb's games, right? We look at the Texans, we look at this past game we just had, and we look at there's a third game. Oh, the Titans. Titans blitzed about 37%. The
absolutely seemed like
about 48-49%, I'm not talking about blitz. I'm talking about pressures, right? And Caleb got pressured 51% of the time in this game, right? I mean, yes, I'm not saying defenses shouldn't pressure the quarterback. I think defenses need to blitz rookie quarterbacks. But what I'm saying is When we're talking about, oh yeah, like we can't compare quarterbacks. I mean, we kind of can because this is a similar regime. It's not like we're talking about Lovie Smith versus like Eberflus. We're talking about like.
Oh, can we do that?
I guess we can because like Lovie Smith got fired at 10-6, so we cannot.
No, man, we're not going there. We could be on all day, but I got to get my son from school. So
Lovie Smith was the reason why we have what we have. So
I agree with that, Coach C. The problem is the Bears are trying to play through Caleb, and he's not ready.
Yep.
We're really saying Caleb's not ready for the NFL. Are we really?
No.
Who said that?
No, that's not what he's saying. He's saying basically like Caleb, to me, in my opinion, Caleb does best when the running game's a compliment. When you just try to throw him out there to throw like all the time, he doesn't look his best. And I felt like that was the problem throughout the game yesterday.
But if you win the games with that play, why don't you go to it?
Hold on, Bishop. I'm almost done.
I'm just want to state we're agreeing that a team or quarterback is better when you're not one-dimensional, correct?
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's every quarterback. Like that's literally the entire NFL.
But why are you doing it though?
Why aren't we running the ball?
Why are we having this conversation if the Bears keep going back to trying to make him do everything?
He's not doing everything. Swift literally carried that offense. That's what got the switch started.
I'm saying, bro. We know that Swift got going in the second half because they went to the running game.
If we know it, what are we talking about?
Well, that's what I'm asking, Bishop, is why aren't we running right out the gate to help set up play action and bootlegs for Caleb? We didn't do that yesterday.
Yes, we did.
That's why
we kept sending Swift up the A gap.
That's why your boy wasn't good until the fourth quarter because
your boy, you mean our boy, right? Wait.
We started running the ball in the fourth quarter. When we started doing that, he started looking a lot better.
I know where the conversation, why it's coming the way it is. That's all I need to know. That's all I need to know is the fact that it's a bias, guys. Let it go. Let it go. Like we have a new regime. I know Julius's reason. I know your guys' reason for not getting on board with everything. But then if that's the case, then
who got a bias?
If you're gonna be one,
first of all,
you're gonna be one. There's a clear bias.
Who got a bias?
Who got a bias,
bro?
No, AJ, hold on. First of all,
hold on. Wait, no, because
hold on. I don't like people putting stuff on me that's not true.
Nah.
First of all, I gave my objective position. Hold on, let me finish.
I said I know why.
Let me finish, please. Let me finish. You're saying that we have a bias for one guy over there. I don't have a bias. I'm saying in my opinion, he did not have a good game. That's what I said. And I'm standing on that. Overall. I don't care if anybody feels differently. That's your opinion.
Okay, but Julius, I'm already acknowledging why you guys are. It's about like an organizational thing.
It is.
When you prefer one person over the other, which you guys do.
I don't prefer.
I don't prefer anybody. Don't put words in my mouth. Don't do that.
What are you talking about, Elise? You literally just called our quarterback your boy as if I'm the only
because you wouldn't let me finish. You literally cut me off.
What are you talking about? You said your boy. I'm like, we're all Bears fans in here. Why isn't he our boy?
Dude, like,
come on.
Regardless. His boy, your boy, whatever. It doesn't matter.
It's our
because if we're gonna say bias, right? You got upset because I said he had a bad game.
No,
who's being biased now?
I said I got triggered, and I'll admit it. I got triggered when you said he played bad. Period. I'm like, that is literally not true at all.
No, I say he had a bad game. He had a good fourth quarter. But if we're talking totality, he had a bad game in my opinion. I'm not giving you. You know what I'm saying?
If anything, Julius. No, if anything, it wasn't even geared towards you. I was more triggered at the fact when we talked about when AJ brought up, hey, this is like he played bad, period. I'm like, yes, he played bad, but it wasn't he played bad, period means he played bad the whole entire game, all four quarters.
No, that's you got to explain it, or somebody got to be listening. We explained it at the beginning of the show.
I explained it already. That was the only thing I
got. No.
I'm saying I explained it. I said he played fine in the fourth quarter. Great, woohoo! But I'm not gonna sit here and ride that ship as a victory, because it wasn't. We still lost at the end of the day. Caleb still needs to play better as the number one overall pick. I don't know why people are afraid to say that. Why can't we acknowledge that? I don't understand that. Every time someone says he played bad,
I can only respond to what you have told to me.
Give an excuse.
I'm not going to let you backpedal. I'm not going to let you backpedal on
this. But she said the same thing I said.
Elise, I'm not going to let you backpedal on this. You said to me, I can only respond to what was communicated to me. You said to me, he played bad, period.
Yes, he played bad. Okay? Like, why is that a bad
Okay, so she said he played bad in totality. He had a good quarter, great quarter in the fourth, but overall, he didn't play good.
Overall, it was a bad game. Okay, he played good in the fourth quarter, if that's what you want me to say. Okay, to satisfy you, great. But I'm sick of the excuses. I'm sick of it. I'm sick of hearing people say, "Oh, well, yeah, he played bad, but this happened." I don't care about what this happened. Overall, he played bad.
I don't know.
We have to admit that to ourselves. He played bad. It was not good. It wasn't. That's okay to say. I hope he bounces back next week. We need him to bounce back next week.
Absolutely. And I think he can bounce back if we stick to what we've been doing.
Too. I think he can too, but damn, like we have to stop trying to play both sides. He played bad. We have to own that.
All right. So here's the thing.
Well, hold on, let T go. T just got on. Hold on. Let T go.
I'm just perplexed by the whole situation, right? It seemed like you got to tiptoe, walk on eggshells when you're talking about Caleb, right? We got to make.
You don't have to. That's my
hold on. Let T finish out. Let T finish out. Come on.
This is the perspective, because I went at Danny. I went at Danny Parkins because I was like, you know what I'm saying? Give us the perspective of, because your Lord and Savior Caleb Williams didn't have a good game and everybody pounced on me for saying that, because I went at Danny specifically because Danny.
Yeah, everybody jumped on you.
Danny and a group of Bears fans, and this is my frustration with the whole organization. We build for a lot of people that don't know football, build Caleb as the cure-all for everything Bears. And our problem is the Bears organization has a deep-seated problem. They're focused on politics and not football. We're playing bad football. The political aspect of it is they're trying to put Caleb in a position where Caleb has to match the likes of Jaden and other star quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, in their performances right now this early in his career. Now, he had great games versus, what was the two teams?
The Panthers and the
Jags.
Panthers and the Jags. All right, cool. Take that for what it's worth. But the build-up for this game was, here it is, the guy that they're going to compare you to for the rest of your career, you have an opportunity to go into Washington and steal the spotlight at your hometown. I was looking forward to this game because I'm looking forward to him stealing the spotlight. Like, the Bears are going to do the right thing. They're going to build on what they did the previous two games, right? They're going to go in there and run the ball effectively, run the offense through the running backs, and allow things to open up on the back end for Caleb, right? They didn't do that. And therefore, for whatever reason, the lack of continuity and the concerto, if you will, of the offense, that are having harmony in the offense, led to him having a bad game. It was a bad game.
Coach T, nobody's saying it wasn't a bad game, because, like, again, every time I've been trying to make a point, I've been interrupted. So there's nobody knows exactly why I'm reacting the way I'm reacting. I simply said, when you play bad, period, that means the whole entire game you're ineffective. He had a bad game, had bad 3 quarters, came alive in the 4th quarter. That's objectively fact, right? But nobody's saying that he had a bad game. That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not about tips on, but if you're going to speak on something, this is the same reason. This is the same way I react when people were talking about Justin Fields. You're gonna speak on something, speak on fact. Don't speak on how you feel. Because
that's what I'm saying.
What you're feeling to the situation is irrelevant. What's fact is stats was he threw for 17 yards in the first quarter, threw for 16 yards in the second quarter, threw for 3 yards in the third quarter, but then threw for over 100 yards in the fourth quarter. That's all I'm saying. That's literally all I'm saying. So he woke up when it mattered.
Yeah, but see, but at the same time, I don't get the hypersensitivity around calling out the first 3 quarters. And
but that's what I'm saying. There's no hypersensitivity about it. He played bad 3 quarters.
We have a systemic problem in Chicago.
Mm-hmm.
In the Chicago Bears organization, our problem is systemic. And the fan base owns part of the responsibility in that. Because yet again, whether it's Justin Fields, Mitch Trubisky, anybody that we have,
Jay Cutler,
Clayson, watch this sound like a broken record, right? Y'all were in Spaces last year, right? Watch this sound like a broken record. We're gonna bring this kid in here who doesn't have the resume. Yes, he flashed the resume versus a couple soft opponents. Great. But he doesn't have the resume for the organization to dump all the pressure. Watch this going to sound like a broken record or a familiar thing that I said was going to happen last year, that we're going to dump all this pressure on this kid and eventually break him because he's not ready for all that. The offense is not concerto. It's not connected. The run game is not married to the pass game. Like if you watch Washington, they're running counters. They're running bash concepts. Their running game is at a 303 level, right? And they're making easy throws off the run. They'll have Jayden throw something to the flat, whether we can debate whether it's RPO or not till the cows come on. But they're having him make easy throws, intermediate throws, and then every once in a while ask him to make the occasional big throw. We're asking Caleb to make a big throw every other play. It's this bizarre bipolar offense where we have a run up the middle and then for whatever reason, a non-connected pass play.
Well, Coach T, Bean, you talked about that yesterday too, briefly. Like, even through Twitter, the fact that, what's something, if your quarterback is going through what Caleb was going through in the first half, where his blind side is free and his protection is not optimal, what are some adjustments that you would do?
I mean, they obviously should have ran 1 or 2 tight ends to the left side.
Yeah,
the most important thing they could do was run the ball.
Which they did effectively.
Watch this. Go take a step back. Who broke the game open?
Swift.
That's what I'm saying. We should be running the offense through that. This is my biggest problem with this organization. I don't have a problem with Caleb. I was really rude. I want Julius. Did I not say? I wanted him to show up and take over. Coming off those 2 games, I'm like, this is prime opportunity. Let's quiet all the noise. Look, if you want it, for those that are still on the fence, if you want it, go take it. But the frustrating part is the organization. It keeps doing the same shit. They went back to the week 1 game plan and saying, "Oh, we're gonna match wits with Jayden, and we're gonna win the quarterback contest." It's a fucking football game. It's football with 11 on each side of the ball. Our strategy, our game plan sucked. And I believe, I have no true information, but I believe it's due to politics because this is still.
Can you hear me?
Shane.
Yeah.
So let me.
That's what I was trying to say. Coach T put it perfect. That's what I was trying to say. Like, why weren't we running the ball right out the gate? Have Swift open the game up for us give Caleb easy throws. Give him and then let him make the big throw when needed. Like, why not do that from the jump? Why are we coming in, throwing the first 3 times, and then we're punting the ball? Don't do that.
I don't think that. So I'm gonna add a couple things to say. So I'm gonna answer a whole lot of games comment. Y'all don't feel like they sabotage? No, I don't feel like they sabotage the offense. I feel like they keep going away from what works. So I want to read. Hold on, my big bro just texted me. Rick, he want me to ask me to read this stuff.
I blacked out literally, like my screen blacked out for like literally the last 30 seconds. What was said?
I was just answering a whole lot of questions. He said y'all don't feel like they sabotage the offense. I don't. I feel like they just don't do what they need to win. And then I wanted to read my homeboy just text me. He want me to read these because he can't comment. He said, "We're a young team when it comes to winning culture. So every quarter matter. Every quarter. We can't have 3 bad quarters by our quarterback and expect to win. We ain't the Chiefs and Mahomes. Defense held them for as long as they could. Offense got to do their part consistently. And we got to have better play calling from the coordinators." All those is facts.
I mean, yes. In a perfect world, every your quarterback is going to have 4 great quarters, but that's not we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a place where you want to perform. Carter, please go to your room. We live in a world where you either play well when it matters or you just don't.
Right? But you got to be held accountable.
Well, I mean, no, of course. I'm telling, here's the thing, when I look back at accountability, like Caleb has more accountability than Eberflus. Let's be real about that.
Absolutely.
Well, everyone does. That's not hard. That's not hard.
But it comes from a player. Go ahead, Coach.
So Bishop, do you think Caleb is at a juncture in his career where we can go out and just spread it out and just say, Caleb, win the game with your arm?
Well, here's the thing. He's a rookie quarterback. He's developing. We're 7 games in. No, there shouldn't be a situation where you're asking a rookie quarterback.
That's the final answer.
But that's not what we're talking about. So I got to address a few things because there was so many situations where literally we're agreeing, but the things I don't think you guys are hearing me. You guys aren't listening. This is from what I'm saying. We came out trying to run the ball. The thing is, we know Swift is not a gap runner. That's Roschon, right? So the fact is, we don't just need to run the ball. We need to use the correct personnel to run the ball effectively. If I'm using Swift, I'm doing halfback tosses, counters, screens, or I'm trying to get him from outside the hash mark so he can find his lane because that's something he's good at and hit it. They did not do that yesterday. In fact, they reverted. The game plan looked a lot like what we did against Tennessee for week 1 when Caleb only threw for 98 yards.
Bishop, you just echoed exactly what I'm saying. Not saying
exactly.
You wrong.
We're agreeing on a lot of the same things. That's what I'm saying.
My thing is exactly that, right? You know what I'm saying? People can come at me all they want to and take shots at non-football stuff, but you'll never question my football knowledge. The fact of the matter is we're playing bad football offensively.
Yes.
The scheme doesn't fit. The run scheme does not fit the running backs. We have a quick twitch, crossover hybrid power guy. We got a true power guy. I haven't seen many gap power concepts. Are we a zone team? Are we a split zone? I thought I actually text somebody on the staff and I was like, hey, bro, I think y'all found something with split zone. Y'all need to keep running split zone and zero. Like when I watch film, I look for your running game identity first because it establishes everything you are. The easy plays are going to come off your run game identity. So are we a gap power team where we running power and counters? Or are we a inside zone, mid zone, outside zone, split zone team? What are we running? Because you build the easier throws off of that. Oh, fake the inside zone, throw a backside 3. Fake this, throw that. Fake that, throw that. We have let's try to run up the A gap. Oh, that didn't work. All right, cool. Let's go back to the next play and spread 4 wide and just let Caleb have to put Caleb in a position, a rookie quarterback in his this 7th game. And say, oh yeah, make full reads when you know what I'm saying. You haven't had the most experience in doing that, and people like to jump on the Jaden takes. Hey, call the offense simple, call it college what you want. They're just playing smart.
It's working.
Football.
Yeah,
it's just playing smart football. Who cares the style point? This is what frustrates me about Bears fans, and particularly those that's extra defensive about Caleb, who. Like, we're so infatuated with having a stat padding quarterback that we don't care about good football. I care about, like somebody said, oh, you're not a Bears fan, or I hate Bears fans like this. Guess what? I love the game more than I do the Bears. I would tear
That's
all
fact.
this shit down. If somebody called me and said, "Hey, we got a spot for you on the Ravens tomorrow to come coach, to pick up trash on the practice field," I love being around the game that much. I will play. Look, people think they insult and say, "Oh, Pee Wee Coach T." I don't care. I will go coach Pee Wee football for the love of the game than rather to sit and watch bad football by the Chicago Bears, an organization, a multi-billion-dollar organization, where you and I can sit here, Bishop, and say, damn, they're not marrying their run game with the pass game. They're running bad concepts up front.
Even the passing concept, like not even just the running concept. This is the thing we're not talking about. Is that their running concepts are out of, or they don't match the personnel, and the passing concept is only good against zone. What do we play? What did we play against yesterday? We play man to man, but we're running routes that are supposed to sit in soft spots of zones to get it. We ran zone, and Jaden tore him up for a good amount. But the thing is, these are my talking points, right? This is where I come in with. Caleb had the first 3 bad quarters, woke up when we needed him, put us in a position to win because our defense played well enough to make sure that a team that got 38 snaps and
Can I push back on the Caleb woke up part?
I mean, you can.
Let me tell you why. Because again, the very saying of that is saying Caleb woke up. No, they put him in better scenarios. It's not on him. Caleb didn't wake up. They start calling better shit. And so they put him in a better position. It's not on Caleb. So watch this. I'll be sort of trolling when I get on Caleb because I'm like this right here. For the people like Danny Parkins and all the hardcore Caleb stands that don't know shit about football, those were the ones that said Caleb is an end-all be-all for the Chicago Bears organizational and political woes that infest that organization. You said that this guy would overcome bad coaching, bad O-line play, bad everything going on around him. And where is that? That's not an insult on the kid. Just calling out the organization for what it is. And what I'm saying is we still got the same shit. We put lipstick on a pig.
Well, you know exactly everything we talked about. As long as the Bears on the McCaskies, the Bears are still the Bears. That's why I talked about in spaces in the offseason, the Bears are going to bear. That's
But there is less of an excuse for it this time. There's less of an excuse for it this time because one, you had listen. People don't want to have a conversation, but there's less of a excuse for it this time because you had a situation where you had an opportunity. I'm going to briefly hit this point because I know it's going to probably rub people the wrong way, but I'm not running from that way because nothing on social media pays me. You had an opportunity where you could have kept a serviceable quarterback and drafted down and got multiple picks to put the organization in a better situation. That point aside, you had a whole entire offseason to get this shit together with the current staff, with the current player, and all this other stuff, and devise a plan with Shane Waldron and say, hey, Shane, I know this is what you do. What is your development plan for Caleb? And say, you know what? No, we're not going to throw everything on the kid too early on and break him. Let's progressively overload or upload to him. Let's make sure our O-line is solidified where we can run the ball through. We can win games through running the ball and playing. Yesterday is more evidence of what I'm saying right now. Yesterday, the defense kept us in the game with an opportunity to win it with us playing 3.5 quarters of bad offensive football. And that defense, and a good point, I tweeted it right before the Hail Mary. I said, holy shit, this defense is good enough to win a Super Bowl with the punter. Right now. Like, I was not kidding and not trolling when I said, I was like, damn, if y'all can do this and the kid only has to have 2 good drives, right? So you can field goal, and the kid only has to put together 2 drives to win you the game, or to potentially put up close to 25 points on the board. This defense is good, but
You're literally explaining what happened last night outside of
Hail Mary. Well, that's what happened the last couple of seasons. Remember, we said the defense could hold, and they could stop a nosebleed. We could have won some of them games. It's the exact opposite. You know what I'm saying?
But the frustration is that has been our story. The frustration is it's been our story. We've had defense that could have won and whatever, and we had Rex Grossman and this and that and the other.
Cody Parkey.
We've had this. This is the same narrative, but people want to say, no. We gotta acknowledge, bro, that we need counseling as a fan base. We have a hypersensitivity about the quarterback situation because we want it to work so bad. But guess what? This organization just doesn't know how to do that. Well, I really believe this. I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna leave. If they would leave Shane, if they would have left Shane alone and let Shane call his stuff, right? Then we would probably Shane looks so unsure of himself, it's concerning.
It's and this is why I'm saying like the importance of finishing points, right? We guys as a group, we agree on a lot of things. But when we're hearing and not listening, we misinterpret what one is saying. When I talk about points, I'm talking about what's been given to me right then and there. The thing is, like I said, I'm gonna say it for the 8th time. I'm not in any way defending the fact that Caleb had a bad game. Caleb had a bad game objectively in totality because when you have 3 out of 4 bad quarters overall, it's a bad game, right? But in a situation where I believe, like I said, you could say coaches put him in a better position to execute plays. I say Caleb woke up to execute plays because there were 3 or 4 big boy throws that man made. The 4 in question, the off-platform sidearm to DeAndre Carter to the 1-yard line, the step into a hit throw that he had to DJ Moore down the sideline. Post to the sideline. The seam route to not the seam route, but the crossing route to Cole Kmet when they finally got him involved in the offense. And then we had the across the body throw when he's running out of bounds to Keenan Allen to get him to the red zone to the 18-yard line. So when I said wake up, those are plays that we weren't seeing in the first 3 quarters, right? So my biggest objective talking point is the fact that I'm not saying that Caleb didn't have a bad game, but to say that he played bad, period, is what I have objection to. Yes, he played bad, but he didn't play bad the entirety of the game. He was able to. He had 17 yards in the first quarter, 16 yards in the third quarter, 16 yards in the second quarter, 3 yards in the third quarter, which is pitiful, and over 100 yards in the fourth quarter. There was a change. Something happened. We started using DeAndre Swift better. We got Everett a little involved. We got Cole Kmet the ball one time. You and me have already talked about this. This offense works when Swift gets going and we get the tight ends involved, right? And then when we exercise all levels of the field. When you look at the tape, and I know you probably haven't had time to look at it because you got a lot of stuff you got going on. Right now, like as far as like with everything, it comes down to the fact that Shane Waldron can eviscerate zone, right? That's what the long developing plays are, to find the soft spot in the zone, sit in it, find it. We did not play a zone defense yesterday. We played the entire man-to-man, 5 to 6 man rushes every single time. And when we talked about yesterday, if Shane Waldron really wanted to adjust, you shorten up the routes, you run more slants, screens, or you move the pocket. So at least you can half the field for a rookie quarterback. That way he doesn't have to go through progression 1, 2, 3, 4. He can just go 1, 2. Okay, I'm gonna dip out and I'm gonna get yards with my feet. And make it simple. That's what Cliff Kingsbury is doing with Jaden. Even though, yes, when they say Jaden runs to the right all the time, that's fine. That's a tendency. That can be corrected. At the end of the day, what he's doing is working, and I give more a lot of cadence to what the defense has done because they snapped the ball 38 times in enemy enemy territory, but they only came back with 4 field goals. And
other part. So the other part is putting superlatives on defense because at one point I was like, bro, they played a lot of plays. They gonna they're gonna fold at some point, like Bears defense did in past. They didn't
bend, don't break. Yeah, they did not fold.
We can talk about this is the other flip side of that too, right? Our defense is outstanding, but we also can talk about, all right, the Commanders put up 12 points on us in field goals. Every one of those drives, Cliff, for whatever reasons, those drives ended by bad plays or plays missed by that people. They could have easily been, if they could get it together. I'm sure they're going back today and like, okay, we won.
And that's the thing about our
looking
offense.
At film and say we should have put up 28 points.
Yeah, no, that's the thing about our defense.
4 times.
Yeah, that's the thing about our defense. The bend don't break. People don't understand what that means. The bend don't break is, hey, you're gonna drive, but the less yards you have to deal with is the better that we get. So when they say, oh, they're in the red zone, we have the top 5 red zone defense in the NFL because of the Lovie Smith bend don't break philosophy, right? We just don't run the cover 2. My biggest thing with the defense is that there's Carter, go play with your toys in your room. My biggest thing is with the defense. The defense was the reason why the game was still a game, right? The reason why it was still competitive. Caleb was the reason why we were in a position to win. And then the Hail Mary is the reason why we lost. The completed Hail Mary is the reason why we lost. And the reason why I say that, and I'm speaking on semantics, right? The reason why I say the Hail Mary is the reason why we lost is because if it's not complete, it's the reason why we win. Simple as that.
But I don't feel like Caleb was the only reason we was in position to win, because you just go again. That's the problem. We put it on one guy. DeAndre Swift had 93 yards in the second half.
Julius, I just said it.
I know that. Listen, bitch. I know what you just said, but I'm telling you, that's how those conversations get started, bro. I understand that, but people, you're not listening. I know what you're saying, bro. I'm not. Come on, bro. We had this conversation.
So if you don't understand why we're rebuttaling it, because we agree on the same thing.
Because words have meaning. You have to be careful what you say. People jump on your shit and take and use how they want to. So if you put there and say, yeah, Caleb's the reason we won, guess what? All those people who are just going to say, Caleb's the reason we win, let's keep throwing the ball. No, he ain't the reason we almost didn't win. It was a team effort.
Let me address
that's all I'm saying, bro.
Earlier, Coach T asked me a question. He said, what woke Caleb Williams up? I said, DeAndre Swift. That's what I'm saying. Like, there's still a sense, like, again, because I mentioned Caleb Williams, that's when y'all react. I'm like, bro, like, I'm speaking in segments.
I'm saying right now, if somebody just logged on right now to the segment and they heard you say Caleb Williams and they're Caleb fans, guess what? Caleb is the solution. I'm saying, bro, to me, if we have a responsibility, if we're going to be talking about this, we need to make sure that we saying the right stuff. Because if we just say Caleb, that's all it's ever going to be. And that's why we're going to continue to have these conversations.
But you and I had the full discourse. We have the context. I can't speak on a fan that's logging on right now and they don't have context of what the words I'm saying. They can go back and look at it. But the thing is, the reality comes down to the fact that it's always been, when we have this discourse, whenever I mention Caleb, I get rebuttal. And like the thing is, we don't talk about what I just explained. We talk about the fact that I just mentioned Caleb, right? So my thing is, when I say Caleb put us in a position to win, it's because he drove us down twice to put us in a position to win, because we were able to be in a position to run the ball in at the 1 yard line to score. So
that's why I said, Bishop, there's a hype. I acknowledge that, right? I play it both ways, right? I play the nines when people try and get on that with me and troll, but I also recognize the reality of the situation. There's a hypersensitivity to the whole quarterback's conversation, whichever way you lean. Like if you criticize Caleb at any juncture, Caleb has been, yes or no, Caleb has been accurate with the deep ball.
Nope.
No.
We got 5 more minutes, y'all, and we got to get up out of here.
Even if you point that out, the next question, the next comment that's in my comments or anybody else brings up, not this group right here. The next person's in my comment was, oh yeah, but this is the same person that wanted to keep Justin Fields, blah, 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 blah. People can say what they want to. The only thing that people can come out with on me is I supported keeping Justin Fields, obviously, for the picks. Could care less about the whole scenario and the bigger life purposes. But for the picks and the building of the organization and the franchise over time.
Because you can do something with him.
Yeah. Because guess what? If anything, you could have got the picks and bought yourself time and built a monster. Because see, when people want to win the Super Bowl, I want to be like the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I want to win Super Bowls.
I want to be like the old New England Patriots. I want to be there year after year after year after year. See what I'm saying? But we got to acknowledge the hypersensitivity around just the QB position overall.
Coach.
Understand, Bishop, when you say, and it's not right, but when you say Caleb did this, there's gonna be people that pounce on that, just like there's gonna be people that pounce on.
I think our focus
can't throw the deep ball.
You guys aren't wrong, but I think the focus, and this is a concrete, constructive criticism that I've noticed. We talk more about what the fans think, not what actually happened. Like, I don't care. Again, I come from a fun, Coach, you and I, and whoever can relate to this. I come from an athletic standpoint where I don't care about stats. I care about the W. I don't care about the fans. I care about what happens on the field. You come from the same standpoint or a similar standpoint of as long as we get the W and coach the right way. Yeah, exactly. Like we can win. We can win a game where the special teams and the defense scores all the touchdowns and Caleb Williams throws 3 yards. I don't care. We got the W. At the end of the day, stats don't get you to the playoffs. Wins do. My thing is this. I just think our discourse when we talk about the quarterback, I don't come from a standpoint where I care about what feedback I get or what I get from the next casual fan, right? I care about what I saw, what was recorded, what was reported, and what the outcome was. That's what I talk about. But I find that our discourse is centered around what other people think, and I just don't simply care about that.
So Bishop, if you don't
I care
care
less about what was reported.
Like if you don't care about stats or wins and losses, why were you so upset when I said Caleb played terrible?
Because it's based on stats. If he throws under 20 yards for like literally the first 3 quarters, but then throws over 100 yards in the 4th quarter, objectively you are wrong.
But
it's not about stats. It's about.
But I mean, that's
your objectively false about your statement.
But that's the way she viewed it. If that's how you viewed it. So that's why I'm saying we got to be. Coach said this in the comments, bro. He said when he came on about the fan base, we have a problem. Like we can't.
But
we can't talk about football as football, right? You're right. We can't do anything about it. But
so why are we talking about the fans?
Hold on. But as a people, I could say we media, right? We'll just say we're media. We have a responsibility to report the right information. I'm not going to buy into the trope of Caleb did this, Flus is garbage, all that. No, we're going to report what is accurate. What's football? Both of y'all, all of us love football, so we're going to accurately portray what happened. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. I wasn't accosting you because you just say Caleb. I'm just saying let's accurately portray what happened. It wasn't just Caleb.
But you're portraying off of perception. And like I said, I don't talk about, I could care less about how a game made you feel. I talk about the facts. That's all I'm saying. What Elise was talking about was her perception on the game.
Let me say that.
But Swift had a big role in it. That's what I'm saying.
But that's perception. Like again, we're
how's that perception?
Perception is the viewer's reality, just like beauty is in the eyes of the beholder.
So he didn't have a big role in the second half, in the 4th quarter.
Say that one more time.
He did not have a big role in the comeback in the second half of the 4th quarter. DeAndre Swift.
He had a huge role. Nobody's saying he didn't.
That's what I'm saying. You keep saying.
But I feel like you guys are trying to take away
perception.
Nobody's
taking away, brother. I said mention DeAndre Swift when you're mentioning Caleb. That's all I'm saying, bro. Get him his flowers. That's all I'm saying.
I did. Y'all talked over me. So that's what I'm saying. Y'all weren't listening. Y'all were hearing me.
Can I
mentioned DeAndre Swift multiple times.
I think y'all having the same argument from the other side of the coin. But let me ask Bishop this question, and maybe Juice is a big topic for y'all to pick up, right? Because you addressed something, Bishop. You was like, hey, about the media portion of it, about the fan portion of it, right? Because I have a take and a feeling about this, right? Why does it matter? Like the statement about the fans' infatuation with the quarterback position, right? The fans and the media's infatuation with the quarterback position in Chicago. Why does it matter? Why does it matter what the media is saying? Why does it matter what the fans saying? Right? To me, well, let me make it a statement. To me, it matters because the media and the fans, the organization is starting to sound like or move like the media and the fans. And that's a fundamental problem for me for a football organization. When it appears on the football field that the organization is more concerned with the perception of the Chicago Bears being able to go toe-to-toe in quarterback battles with the other 31 NFL teams, then it's a problem. It's the same thing that's going on with the media and the fans. It's like they're having the same inner fight in Hallis Hall that we're having as a fan base, right? It's like, who do we want to be? And instead of us focusing on winning, we're focusing on style points. And that doesn't get you the results of us winning a 13-10 game and winning the Super Bowl. It's not about, it seems like it has the awful feeling like it's not about winning footballs in the game anymore. It's about padding stats. It's about having a marquee quarterback in the city that we can say, this is our guy. And it seems like, to me, a great portion of the fan base wants to force that on the rest of the fan base. And for me, I'm not going to bow down to it until I see it. Until I say, okay, this is a game versus Washington where I can say, okay, all right, boom. Here's a grand opportunity. Here's a grand opportunity. Go out there and take it. Earn it. You know this, Bishop. We play and coach the game. What? I'm sitting here right now with huddle open and play cards for practice I got to go to in a little bit. You know every ounce of how football is played. Play cards. Play cards. What we got to going through the script, showing their plays. Going through the process of preparing for a game. Everything is earned. Everything is earned. But it seems like to the fan base, they want the whole thing to be given to Caleb. And I'm like, no. Between Shane, and Caleb, the offense and the defense, go out there and earn it. Here's an opportunity on the grand stage, like I'm talking Tyreek Stevenson. Do your job. Earn it. Caleb, make the throws. O-line, make the block. Shane, call the right protections. Earn it. But we want to have conversations about, and no offense, Bishop, but we want to have a conversation. We want to take the micro and say, oh, the last two drives. I don't want to talk about the last two drives. I don't want to talk about the last two drives. I want to talk about us putting together. I'm not giving you nothing. I'm sorry, Kay. I understand he's a rookie, but I'm not giving you that. Because guess what? This is the conversation we don't want to happen. That was a rookie on that other sideline too.
Yep.
That was a rookie.
Well, yeah, that's Bishop. And Bishop. And the reason I said that, bro, and I love you. I got love for you.
No,
I said that because remember,
change your feeling. Like we're just having.
Yeah, you my boy. You know what I'm saying? I don't want people to think that we ain't cool or nothing like that. But my thing is, me and you had a conversation recently about the discourse of people coming at you, the Caleb stands, like thinking they like, hey, yeah, Bishop, you ride with us, and then they coming at you, you like, nah, you misquoting what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. I don't want people to take out of context what you're saying. I understand. T understands what you're saying. At least understands because we have familiarity. We know you. We know you. You know what I'm saying? We talk off this app, off this thing. I don't want people misquoting you by what you say because people will take that stuff and run with it. So I don't want you to have to deal with that foolishness because people aren't don't have enough. I'm not even gonna say intelligence, but don't have enough.
No, it's intelligence
You know
thing.
what I'm saying?
It is
So that's all it is.
I've
It
said
ain't.
because I've said before, like, because Caleb, like, I was saying something like, I'll make a comment like Caleb and Jaden have different responsibilities with the offense, different things that they, and people will take it as and Caleb that Jaden runs a college offense. I'm like, that's literally that misquoting happens even when you make your point, and it's just because this app is 90%. I'm gonna say it, retarded
Trolls.
versus versus people who are actually like knowledgeable about the game. When people say, "Oh, you don't know ball," I'm like, "No, you projecting because you're not hearing
Exactly.
what we're saying." My thing is this: well, you guys know, I was all for Justin Fields in the Hall of Picks that we could have gotten because Justin Fields is a serviceable quarterback. It's like his only issue was the fourth quarter, and I'm like, yo, and at the top of that too. He didn't have an offensive line. So I'm like, bro, it doesn't matter what wide receivers you have or don't have. It's if you got time to get it to them. Because I mean, and this is no slight at Detroit fans. When you give somebody time, because y'all don't have Aiden Hutchinson no more, Mason Rudolph was marching on you guys. Even if he scored 14 touchdowns.
You mean 14 points?
Yeah, 14 points. We knew what you tried to say.
He trying to snake me, bro.
Right, I don't know where he went.
He trying
But
to
no,
snake me, bro.
it's all love, man. We've been on this joint for 2 hours.
Yeah,
Uh,
we thought about
we
it.
way over. We way over. I'm sorry, big bro, if you listening. We apologize. Like, but you know how I get when we get on here. So, we knew it was gonna happen. But yeah, stay tuned soon. Like I said, we're gonna try to put the panel together. You know, just that little four of us was pretty good. We're gonna try to get everybody else, and we have a good football conversation because I feel like it needs to be had.
Yes.
I feel like we need to really talk about, and not even just players, man. Like, forget talking about Caleb for 2 hours and all that. Let's talk about the organization. Let's get on that. Like,
And
cause
that's
to
the only
me,
reason. The only reason I agree with that. The only thing that I say about that is like that's a organizational issues are like we're talking about like 100 years of stuff that hasn't changed. Like if it hasn't changed in 100 years, it's not going to change anytime soon until they sell the team. Selling the
right.
team is actually a conversation that should be had. If it
Mm-hmm.
happens, it'd be the frontal point of the conversation. Because like I said before, as long as we have them.
Oh.
He was going to say, as long as we have these owners, not much is going to change with the Bears. And that's
Yeah, no, and
my
I get
point.
that.
That's my
No,
point with
we
this
all
whole
agree
thing.
on that.
Yeah, that's my whole
Yeah,
And
point with this whole thing.
I
that's
feel
why I
like
hate talking about that because it's
I
just like
feel like,
because ineptitude. So there's a saying that ineptitude and inept people hire more inept employees that create an inept system, and we have
right.
an inept head coach who hired somewhat of an inept, let's call inept OC, who then we're having inept results. So
And see,
that's
that's my problem, Bishop, is I like Caleb too much to see him suffer like the other three quarterbacks I saw suffer. I just don't want to
But
see that again.
and that's why I
that's
said
why I was
we need to have that
being so
conversation.
passionate. That's why I was trying to be so passionate. That's why I was being so passionate with what I was saying because I'm saying I'm not. My thing was like I probably only attacked like a couple things semantically, but in overall we agree with each other. But I'm like that's what I'm saying. Y'all not hearing me. We're agreeing on the same things. We're just saying it differently. But
We
I feel
come
like
from different perspective. We on the same
Yeah,
street but different.
yeah, that's what I'm
We
saying.
talking different
We
different
language.
agree with each
perspectives.
other, but this
Yeah.
discourse today was more about disagreeing on stuff that we agree about. I'm over. That's why I was like confused. I'm like,
No, I think it's just I think we're putting, and we talked about this before. We putting our energy in the wrong thing. That's why I said when we had this panel, hopefully soon, we could talk about the organization and how they do things wrong, what we feel like they do right, and how they can right now they can make things differently. But we all know why they're not doing it. We know this. It's politics
Right.
again. So,
right.
but we'll talk about that more on when we get there, and then next week's show, hopefully we'll have a Bears a victory Monday. You know,
Hopefully.
hopefully they beat the Cardinals. You know what I'm saying? We'll
Bro,
see.
100%.
If
I
not,
don't like when I
oh
have
my
to
goodness,
scream and yell. I hate it. Like it's never a
nah.
good pod when I have to do
But
that.
we're not even gonna
I
yell
like
next
it
week.
when we win. I'm in a better mood. Period.
And we're gonna try to keep it to an hour or so. I mean, but again, we appreciate y'all that tuned in to us, man. Thank y'all for showing up. Thank y'all for the comments, man. Thank y'all for coming by. We really do appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe, follow us, follow Coach T as well. And we'll try to bring more people on as we can. Steve-O couldn't come because he's working, you know what I'm saying? But we appreciate anybody that comes through and contributes to us. So thank y'all again, man. We will see y'all next week. Hopefully, again, a Bears victory Monday. And with that,
Like the damn video.
Yeah, like the video. Yeah, make sure you
Like,
retweet it,
comment, subscribe.
retweet it, share it. Yep. Send it to your family members. It's Bears fans or whoever,
It's free.
football
It's
fans.
free.
It is. It is free. But yeah, we appreciate y'all. Peace out, y'all.
Peace.
Peace.